Hello, everybody, and welcome to Excelsior Rising at Chaotic Neutral Games, a Genesys adventure. So, little bit of a story before we get started, and that is that this is completely different to any other game that I've run before. Every now and again, I like to write outside of my comfort zone, and I have books and Google Docs and what have you, full of stories and half stories and concepts of stories. So, to push myself even further out of my comfort zone, I turned around to two of our most beloved viewers, Scormfuse and Hermit, and gave them a short list of pretty much everything that I had that was ready to go. They picked something out of the list, and so we're playing Excelsior Rising. Little something about that. Scormfuse and Hermit are probably the ones who know the most about the adventure. None of the players know. They don't know the basis. All they know is that they've been told to roll up modern day people in modern day London. Without COVID, because we're done with that shit, right? So, as per usual, we have some viewer interaction. And this time I'm going to be using Twitch's poll function to determine everybody's fate. And that will happen today in episode 1. And we'll be using polling throughout the adventure as well. So, as you go along, it's like a choose your own adventure, except you don't have to deal with the consequences. Anyway, enough of that for now. Let's carry on with episode 1 of Excelsior Rising. Welcome back and welcome to our players. Ordinarily, we play with all of our regular chaotics, but the number of chaotics are starting to grow with every new. Let me just get out studio mode here. With every new game that we play, so I think it behooves us at this point for me to make some introductions. So I'll introduce the players, and then the players will introduce their characters. So first of all. Somebody for whom is one of the few rewards I've had out of Twitter, because damn you doom scroll when you do that. This is a person who their positivity and energy, especially in the face of their detractors, has been a delight and inspiration for me. So, Chaotix, I would like you to welcome Christy back. And I think you came and played with us once before. It was Numenera, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Numenera.
That's right. And one of the things I loved about it was that the delivery of that one line to a recently bereaved kid or something, and the way you just cracked out, oh, that's a shame. I was just there going, oh, God, the comedy timing on that was incredible. And at that point, I was like, I'm getting her in a campaign at some point. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So, welcome, Christy. And first of all, let's mention your characters. We saw in the titles. She is, well, I was about to say Elizabeth, but I'm sure you'll correct me. Tell us
Yeah.
about your character.
I am Elizabeth von Schaumburg-Furstenberger, and she is a mature, and I use that term loosely, model actress of age, and she she's looking to have a revival of her career that might have been kind of checkered. in the past, and she's excited to start a new job at this media company.
Yep. I'll go into what the media company is in a bit, but we'll
Hmm.
go through all the characters first. So yeah, she's a bit rambunctious, plays by her own rules and whatever she thinks up in the moment. So spontaneous. She's one of nature's reactors.
You know, a little bit happens when you have a gin and tonic. You know, a little scandal,
I was
a
particularly
little
thinking about the word reactor because of there's two meanings to the word and both apply. So
very much so.
okay. Next up is somebody who people should know already because on Monday night she plays Clegy in New Numenera. And it is, of course, Helen. So thank you very much for joining this game as well. We're getting you bit by bit. We're taking up your week, aren't we?
Yes, doing very well. Thank you. Good evening, all. Oh, I'm excited about this. Okay, so my character is the delightful Ilka Vista. She is a 28-year-old Swiss national. Can't speak tonight. That's a good start. She has been working for the Excelsior Corporation for about the last 4 years. She started off as a sort of lowly administrator secretary in the Swiss office, and due to her incredible skills, obviously, has sort of worked her way around Europe and has now made it to London and to HQ.
Okay. Next up are two people who you would have met before on the stream, but you may have met them in the Discord. And in fact, one of them's already made his presence known by running a bunch of games for our Chaotix. So first of all, I will introduce somebody who has brought me through some amazing games over the last 10 years, I think it is.
Longer than that.
Yeah,
Longer than 10 years.
Yeah, it's got to be like kind of 12,
It's close.
12 or
close.
so now. Yeah.
No, it was before Adam was born, and Adam's 11 this year, so
Oh,
12
good
this
God.
year. So,
Okay, make me feel older, man.
It's about 15 years, I think.
It is, of course, Dave, aka Mage Dave, on chat. So thank you for joining me for a completely random game that I was not sure you were going to go for. So let's see who you're playing.
So I'll be playing Kate Reynolds. She is the PR. Well, I want to say director, but that might be her ego kicking it a bit there for Excelsior. For every scandal that Elizabeth is peripherally attached to, Kate is stood right beside her, cleaning up the mess. Yeah. I see her as a permanently stressed, no nonsense, very capable in the middle of a crisis woman. But doesn't know what to do with herself when things are calm. Yeah. She never lets her hair down, and she is always ready for the next crisis.
Okay. Finally, a recent addition to Chaotic Neutral, but a welcome one nonetheless. Someone who has infuriated and entertained in equal measure in our L5R game off screen. Who know you could put a monkey through so much application. It is, of course, Joseph. So thank you for joining us, and especially considering you're going to be changing gears like crazy compared to your other character, who is completely reckless, and you're now playing a quite endearing soul. So, Joseph, let's hear about him.
Yeah, I'm Star Burbank, and I work in photography and video engineering sort of work, and I just love to help people, and I'm quite young, maybe early 20s, quite short, way too much, trying way too hard appearance-wise, just to look their best, but not having a clue how to do it.
Yeah.
And they've been working for Excelsior for about 5 years now. No, yeah, about 5 years.
Yeah.
But no one can tell that. Everyone thinks they're the new intern that is just there to help them.
Yeah.
And Star is more than happy to be of assistance to anyone.
Yeah, I did like the fact that you're kind of almost instantly forgettable and always being given the coffee, and you're just too nice to to say no.
Yep.
So we are going to go almost entirely straight into the action. But first of all, I'm going to talk about the Genesys system. That's the system that we're going to be using for this, and it's a set of symboled dice. I used to hate this kind of system, but now it's really grown on me. We used it before for Star Wars Legends of the Sprawl, where you roll a pool of dice and you roll the good and the bad at the same time. We have an automatic dice roller, which means that everybody gets to see our rolls straight away, and it'll automatically cancel out failures from successes, threats from advantages, and it doesn't get rid of triumphs and despairs. So just a quick rundown for those who are watching, players already know. There's a bunch of symbols that will turn up whenever I ask for a roll. More often than not, if you're just role-playing through it, I won't get you to roll until it's crunch time, because I don't like to interrupt the flow. If you are walking the walk, no problem at all. You want to go and get a bit of help from someone, you can do that. There will be more viewer interaction come episode 2. So episode 2, you will get contacts and allies. The contacts and allies are in chat right now. So welcome, young Alice. And Hermit is an old hand at this, and so will Scorm, and so will anybody else who joins. You can pretty much just turn around and say, oh yeah, I know a guy. And you can get some help from them if they're willing to contribute the channel points. The amount of channel points that they put in is the level of which they're going to help you. So I'm giving them episode 1 to start clocking those up, and beware, Hermit and Scorm are millionaires when it comes to channel points. Scorm can pretty much throw out a wild magic burst every week on Benefactor when he wants to. So we are going to be starting with that. So they are collecting at the ability to help you. In some cases, they'll only be able to help a little, which will be a bonus dice. In other cases, they'll be able to do a lot more. Yeah, Hermit there, 82,000. So depending on how much they want to help, or indeed hinder, they can do so, because they can also choose to spend points on a fumble. And that is that they will tell you things that are wrong. But you will have to act as if they're canon, unless you've found something in-game that contradicts it.
Wow.
So
This is
they
great.
really do get to help tell the story. Is a channel point when we write online, says Angela K. So no, you will notice that on the chat bar, you'll have a bunch of channel points. They will go up bit by bit, and every now and again you'll get a bonus. It'll look like a little box in a green square. Click that and you'll get an extra 50 straight away. None of the functions are on right now, so don't click any of the stuff that's on there for D&D, or Wild Magic Burst doesn't work. None of that works. It'll all come in episode 2. But you will be able to be part of the polls, of which there are 4 in this episode. Okay? I'm not going to explain too much more about the Genesys system beyond there. There is one other thing about the Genesys system, which we're going to do right now. And that is, I would like all of the players to hit special rolls and then roll destiny. Here we go.
That looks good.
So far, so good. Oh, even better for you guys. I think one more.
I think I've rolled.
But I'm only seeing mine.
Did I?
Should I be seeing everybody else's?
Oh, yeah, you should see everybody. So in that case, Joseph, just do it again. It doesn't matter who rolls. I mean, it's pressing a button.
Yep.
Oh, okay, that's a lot for you and not a lot for me. So this is part of the game as well. In the Genesys system, you have destiny points. In the Star Wars game, it's the light side and the dark side. In this, it's more a case of karma. The black tokens are mine, the white tokens are yours. When you feel like you need some help, you can upgrade your roll by flipping one of those tokens. And when you do that, if you have, say, 2 yellows and a green, it goes up to 3 yellows. If you have 3 greens, it goes up to a yellow and 2 greens, as we practiced in session 0. The other thing you can do in some cases is flip it and just change part of the props. It can't be anything groundbreaking. So if you're looking for a MacGuffin, you can't just flip it and say, I find the MacGuffin. You can, for example, say, flip it and say, I know of a taxi driver that's working nearby and I have their number and they will basically drop everything and come and get me. It's convenience. You get to do that and steal a little bit of the story away from me. All of this is about co-storytelling, both me and you, and because I'm a glutton for punishment, the chat.
Yay!
There will be a thing that the chat can do where they get to flip destiny counters over to either aid you or help me. And that'll cost channel points too. And it'll all come in session 2. Deliberately, I wanted to focus on all this in episode 1. Okay. So, very first thing that we need to do is ask the chat something. And because you players don't really know what the symbols mean, you get to do it too. So if you're on Twitch or have Twitch on your phones, players, I would like to put a poll out, which I'm just about to do, and that is, who should take the crown? Should it be the reactive actress? Should it be the timid graphic editor? Should it be the talented executive? Or should it be the driven troubleshooter? Let's go. We have 1 minute. So these polls are going to attach destinies to each of you. And this is where it gets intimidating for me because I don't know who's going to take what. I can't write any of the destinies specifically to any of your characters. They all have to be very generic. So regardless of the outcome, I will read the story and tell the story according to what the chat decides. It could be that one of you are destined to die horribly in an act of sacrifice. It could be that one of you ends up taking center stage. It could be that one of you has a mystery that you have to single-handedly solve because nobody else is going to be able to perceive it. No pressure. And we're coming to the end of our minute. Let's see how we go. And the results.
There's a clear winner there.
Ilka. In that case, we start with you. So, let's get started with the game as a whole. You are all on the way to Austin Friars. Austin Friars is one of the best restaurants in London. It is beautiful. It is expensive. And you work for Excelsior. Excelsior isn't just a multimedia company. It's the multimedia company. They have been at the forefront of women's rights, trans rights, Black Lives Matters, ending Asian hate, fair trade, getting rid of certain pesticides and additives, eco initiatives. They are kind of the perfect ethical company, which is why they're fictional. And they are successful, completely driven up into a level of success completely unprecedented by any other company. They are attached to pretty much all of the decent celebrities out there as well. Any celebrity that isn't scandalous and is just an artist is attached to them in some way, or at least they have influence with them. Companies like Dove, Lush, things like that, are pretty much lifelong subscribers to Excelsior being their PR. The same goes for a lot of the designers and things like that who stand for trying to make a better world. Some of you have worked for Excelsior for a while in remote offices, but today is a particularly exciting day because you're moving office. And you're moving office here. The Gherkin. Also known as, God, I keep forgetting the address.
30 St. Mary Axe, isn't it?
30 St. Mary Axe. That's the one. And you've got offices there, and there's a very good reason for that. You haven't been to the office yet. Today is your first day, and the main reason for that is that they own it. Instead of the problem that we had that they had when it was first made, it was originally made in the real world by an insurance company that then realised they couldn't afford to keep it. And now there's several companies that are there. Excelsior owns the whole thing, and the very tip of the gherkin, is not a restaurant. It's the Helix nightclub, the most fashionable place in the whole of London. If a celebrity is in London, they're in the Helix. And between these two, it's run by a star, an absolute icon of the age, Violette. Violette was an androgynous model, and them, and they've proved themselves to be not only a supermodel and being able to be pretty much in the heart of anything that's newsworthy. They are also incredibly rich, incredibly successful in business, has been consulted on matters of social policy. You just can't keep them off TV or in the newspapers. They normally have a very calm and considered attitude when they speak. However, they get attacked on a daily basis by pretty much everybody who wants to exploit or take the opposite opinion or whatever. A lot of detractors. And you're going to be in the same building, the heart of Excelsior, and also head of European operations, Violette. You are on the way, as I say, to Austin Friars. You have a discount. Of course you do. A lot of places in London give discounts to Excelsior employees because there are hundreds. Absolutely hundreds. And if there's an Excelsior employee going to a restaurant, a nightclub, a particular fashion shop, well, there's a chance they might be taking a celebrity with them, so it kind of pays off. But no celebrities today. Oh, hang on. One celebrity.
What? Excuse me. Excuse me?
4 players, and yes, 1 celebrity as a result.
I have you know.
You've all had a really weird day on the way here. And what we're going to do is a series of flashbacks, which will end up with you guys talking about each other's really weird day. And we're going to start off with Ilka. So, Ilka, you took the tube. Yeah. And best way to get around centre of London. You have to bounce around a lot of different places, and you have to go and visit a lot of people. Sometimes you're having to go down into the docks where there's a lot of manufacturing sheds and sets as well. So people are setting up sets and locales all over London, and you're having to go there and make sure that the project's on in time. You are project management. That's what you do. You're on your way back, and you're just walking down in the tube, and it's at a point where it's in the middle of the day. The commute is over. People are where they need to be for the most part. That still doesn't mean that aren't people around. Of course there is, but every now and again you just get that weird moment where you walk down an empty stretch of underground, just a section of the tunnels going down to the platforms, and it's quiet, and all you can hear is the distant rumbling of the trains. This kind of strange susurrus that's just almost 24/7 under London. And as you do so, and you're focusing on this, you must have been daydreaming or something, because immediately, out of left field, this face shocks you. The yellowing teeth, several missing, the crow's feet around the eyes that almost makes her skin look like stone, the receding silver hair, the hooked nose, almost witch-like and caricature, and you get startled as she goes, "Oh, excuse I for startling you. I won't hurt you. Pretty one, fair one. Nettie won't hurt you. Nettie hasn't hurt anyone. Throwed us out, they did. To starve, perchance. To die, they let her. You would show some kindness, some mercy. She holds a pair of gnarled hands up as if to to ask for some money or something. You can see the joints swelling with arthritis. The nails are long but split in some places, or just chunks napped out of them. She is shaking slightly, looking up at you, stooping low. You can see, hunchbacked, an old and very wretched woman. You can smell clothes that have clearly been worn for days on her, and she just holds up her hands and looks at you with, I guess, what is her version of puppy dog eyes. What do you do?
Nettie, hello. Uh, um, can I help you? You would like some money? A drink, something to eat?
Some favour, yes.
A favor? Okay, that seems a strange thing to ask, but yeah, fine. What can I do for you?
A token. Money is good. Food. A little something. Something to say you want Nettie to survive.
Oh,
She's shaking, and tears are starting to pool on the corner of her eyes.
Yeah. Let me look. So Ilka's obviously carrying a number of different bags. One's obviously got like paperwork in and a laptop and something else, and then she's got like a personal handbag, and then she's got like a, snack bag, effectively, food bag. So she'll rummage in her food bag and she'll pull out a bottle of water, obviously not being drunk, and pop that into her hands and go, uh, um, I have an apple, and I have a banana.
She clutches onto the water,
Have both.
and
Pardon?
when you offer the others, she holds the three items and goes, "Generous, yes, generous." And
If I can give you a little money, if that will help you,
she clutches the food to her chest and goes, "Yes, generous and kind. Yes, Nettie is to be nourished. That is good."
I know of a few places where maybe we can get you
No,
a bed for the night, or
no. Nettie will find her way, but thank you. She turns and starts to hobble away, and she hobbles a few meters away, then turns back, gives you a curt little bow, and clutching these two pieces of fruit and this water, walks back the other way. You were in the middle of this tunnel when she popped out of nowhere. And she's walking arthritic.
I don't remember. I'm sure I would have seen her. I wasn't thinking about anything that.
You look down the other way and look back, and even though she was probably going, probably a meter a minute, and there's a good 20 meters between her and the curve, you look away, look back, and she's gone.
She'll look in her bag to see whether like the water and the apple and the banana are actually still in there. That she's
All
not
gone.
just like. But
Ilka, take 3 points of strain.
Oh. Yes. Taken.
So, for the viewers, there's 2 types of hit points, I guess you'd say, in this game. There's wounds and strain. Wounds are literally your physical condition. If you max out on wounds, you are out for the count. You are close to dying. You don't die in this unless you get a full-on critical injury that is death. There is a critical injury in this game that is just called death. There's other things that you can do, though, is that if you max out on your wound points, you are in a critical condition. That means any more damage you would get starts rolling criticals. Criticals are cumulative. They get higher and higher as you go along and will eventually end up with death. Then there's strain, which is what I've just given Ilka. Strain is actually mental and social stress. You can get it through arguments. You can get it through being weirded out. You can get it through tiredness. You can get it through being tasered. It's anything that will take you out of a scene. If you end up getting too much insanity in a scene and you get strain that way filled up, you will basically book it. You will run away screaming. If you're in the middle of an argument with somebody and you max out on strain because they keep attacking you with arguing, you basically just run out of things to say. You corpse. You default. The same goes on from there. And if someone tases you too much, you go unconscious. So, yeah. You've taken a bit of strain here that won't go until a certain amount of time has passed. And I will tell you that. You're still freaked out. So you've got freak out strain.
Nice.
You carry on and you turn a few more corners and get down to the platform. And the platform is actually quite busy. There's you remember that there's a book festival going on down in Alexandra Dock, and it was quite busy up top as well, so it's just like, okay, they must have taken the other way down. And as you're walking through the crowd, I'd like you to make a perception check. And the diff here is only going to be diff 1.
Perception. Okay. So I need to do my skills, and then for diff 1, just 1 purple, yeah?
Yep. Okay, and a success and 2 advantages. So you notice straight away that people are looking at you. You're feeling very self-conscious. You keep checking your clothes to see, have you got something spilt down you or whatever. You check, no smudged lipstick or anything. And why the guys wouldn't notice that unless I was really smeared. I mean, what's going on? And they're looking at you. And with the advantage I will give you, they're not just looking, they're gawping at you. Not with mirth, not with ridicule, not with admiration, just generally looking at you as if they all recognize you. Also, they're getting out of your way. This never happens on the tube. This platform is damn near rammed and people are parting for you.
Now for Ilka, this is absolutely terrifying because she is designed to melt into the background. That's her role, She's not there to be up front and noticed. She's there to
the power
be
behind the throne, yeah.
She's there to be, discreet and behind it, and literally dresses like, she's smart, but she's
default smart, yeah.
Yes, smart with a frumpiness to it. She's not like, super smart, I'm walking down the catwalk. She's smart with a frumpiness. If she could be wearing a cardigan at the moment, she would be. She can't. She has to wear her jacket. So she's very concerned that suddenly, like, people are noticing her and are acting on that noticing. And I just think she's lost for words and does not know what to do.
Yeah.
But will take advantage of actually getting that prime position by the yellow line,
yeah,
waiting for that
You get
door.
to toe the yellow line on a full platform.
Yeah.
Anyone who's lived in London will tell you this is rare.
Yeah. And then exactly.
You're checking, going, I'm not pregnant, so it's not that. So.
Yeah, I hope she noticed that. Yeah. So, I mean, she'll take advantage of the space, but she's proper freaked out now. Like she does not like this at all, and she would just be muttering to herself in, in her sort of Swiss dialect, just churning through things but not really being able to express anything. It would just be like
Okay.
mumbling almost, just that need to like hear herself to sort of try and center herself.
You get onto the tube. Someone gives you a seat. Yeah. What? Yeah. Once again, you check down. Nope, still not pregnant.
Pregnant women don't get seats on the tube. What are you talking about? It's London.
They do if tourists are on there, because the tourists will let them have it. I know, I've been that tourist. There's for people who don't know, in London you can actually get a badge that says "I'm pregnant, give me a seat," that gets given to you by the members of on the tube. The conductor will turn around and go, "Oh, you're pregnant. Here, have one of these, love. You're gonna need it," kind of thing. Because the only people who will give you a seat are people who are not from London. So you get given a seat. And when you get off the other side, as you're leaving, a ratty-looking busker in a flat cor-blimey hat finishes his song and goes, "Scooter-I, uter-I, we went up by train and by car. When the juice of the valley start flowing, we all saw the game in the bar." When he notices you, he takes off the flat cap and gives a full-on courtly bow and a little wink. After that, you come up and out of the tube, and you're very close to Austin Friars. We can hopefully tell your friends and make some sense of whatever the hell just happened.
She is... Wow. She is like beelining into it. Like, this is not normal London, executive assistant walk. This is like proper, I have to get there now. And she will literally go through the doors, go to the bar and go, I need schnapps. I need 4 schnapps. You have no schnapps. Okay.
The owner comes up to you and says, "I believe I have some schnapps in the cupboard upstairs. Yes. I will. I'll get you some immediately." You watch as the manager of Austin Friars runs up the stairs.
Just, and I'll look around for my friends.
You see your friends. Well, some of them. I don't know which order that you turn up, and I'm going to say no. None of your friends have arrived yet. They've all had weird stories of their own, and you know the table. You book the table, and you go there and wait for the next one to arrive. Okay, I need to do a new poll quickly, and this one is who takes the sword, and I have to write everything back in, so bear with me. I'm just going to put in the names, so it will just be Christy, Dave, or Joseph. So is it Christy the actress, is it Dave the troubleshooter, or is it Joseph the mild-mannered graphic editor? Go. I'm the only one who doesn't get to vote. I can't even see the results because it basically just ticks down for me, and then I just get the end thing and go, oh shit, okay, let's go.
Right, clear majority on this one.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I have a feeling I know who it's going to be. There we go. And the winner is Dave. Okay. No problem. So, Kate, you're walking down the heaving Oxford Street, coming back from an infuriating merchandising meeting with some people who clearly didn't want to listen to you. They wanted to just go with their own ideas. They clearly went in there with, this is what we're going to do regardless of what she says. They were completely deaf to everything that you were saying, and you are in an absolute foul mood, right? As you're walking down there, you can see in front of you, and the crowds again are heaving because it's Oxford Street. It doesn't matter which time of year. It's Oxford Street, crowds are heaving. And you can see there's an employee from Lush. They've picked up way too many trays of bath bombs. You can smell them before you see them.
Right.
Yeah, they picked up way too many, and they're now nervously trying to navigate the crowd to get to the store with them all intact. Thankfully, it's not raining. It's one of those rare days in London where there's not even a drizzle. And you can see, you're quite far away, too far away to act. You can see, coming in the opposite direction, is this large gorilla of a man in a suit. Yeah? When he gets up to the employee, he bellows, "Out of my way!" and pushes the employee, right? The trays tumble, bath bombs spill onto the pavement. They start getting stamped into the floor by people who are just like, oh, what was that kind of thing? They go into the road. The traffic starts to mash and mulch them and spread them. It's starting to have this kind of pink and purple glittered streak going down the road. You get there just in time to be the first person to react. It's one of those things, you couldn't prevent it, but you're kind of walking in that direction that happens right in front of you. The employee's panicking and trying to save what he can. He's trying to put things back into what is effectively like flexible egg cup holders, like egg boxes. The large man is just standing there. Even though he said, "Get out my way," he seems to have stopped watching this circus, and he's grinning in your direction, almost like daring you to say or do something about it. This is open task. What would Kate do?
Is this guy just like wearing a suit or something, or has he got like any identification?
Oh yeah, he's in a suit. He's got a big business suit and all the rest of it. He's ripped as fuck, as a gorilla of a guy. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, we're talking like Vin Diesel, but more broad. Yeah, yeah, he's a little more stocky, and he's got kind of like a, I don't know, his hair's kind of a bit like mine. It's kind of short, slightly spiked hair. He's got a long beard that goes down to where his well, it's not too long, but it's longer than mine, that goes down to where his tie starts. And he's dressed kind of power style. He's got a waistcoat on. That tells you fucking everything, right? He's got a waistcoat on, right? And he's got silver cufflinks. He's got a giant fucking chunky ring on his finger. Yeah, and he's just looking at you, grinning as if to say, what?
Well, I'm gonna walk past him and ignore him for the moment. And Kate's gonna go up to the employee with the bath bombs and see if she can do anything to help. Lush is one of our clients, and if there's a client in need, then Kate's first instinct is always going to be try and help them as much as possible.
Okay, are you getting down to help put some in, or?
Absolutely, anything that needs to be done.
No, miss, no. You're going to get stuff on your, on your dress. This stuff gets everywhere. He holds up his hands. He's got caked hands. You can see his apron's completely covered in this stuff. They're freshly made bath bombs. They got all the dust that's just falling off them. And he goes, no. And the gorilla guy turns around and goes, "Yeah, I don't want to mess up your dress, love."
And I'm just going to completely ignore the gorilla guy completely. Kate's gonna say, "There's a lot of mess here. I can't leave you to just deal with this on your own. I'm gonna help. I've got plenty of other dresses. This is not an issue. Let's get all this stuff off of the street, and I'll start picking up what I can."
Thank you. And he starts putting things back. He's there. He's blowing on it. He's getting a bit of dirt, and there's a fag end on this one. He just throws it away. Sorry, if you're American, that's a cigarette butt. Don't worry. I know we're in London, but that's not a slang. Well, actually, it is a slang. But anyway. And it's not that type of slang. But yeah, you can see he tries to pick one up, and it's already half mushed, because even though there's no rain at the moment, you know, the little gully where the double yellow lines are is still damp because it's London. And he picks it up, and it's already fizzing out of his fingers. He then goes to try and pick up another one, and he's cross-contaminating the bath bombs. His hands are a bit wet, so he puts them on there, and he puts one onto the thing, and as he does so, you know, he takes it away, and you can see that the 5 finger marks as he pulls his hand away. He's dissolved some of the bath bombs. He's having more of a panic attack as he goes along. He's starting to shake. He's starting to, you know, really flip his shit here. He's just, you know, he goes, that one's useless, and this one's useless, and pretty much everything he's touching right now, he's ruining more than he's saving.
Right.
He's having a complete panic attack.
Kate's going to help out as much as possible, and she's not afraid to get her hands dirty, but somehow she'll manage to get through all this with this like little stain on her forehead, a bit on the end of her nose. You know, the kind of Hollywood. Look at me, I'm dirty, but not really dirty because I still look glamorous. Yeah, somehow still managed to actually be helpful in putting all the stock away.
Yeah. Okay. You finally managed to get what is now the Leaning Tower of egg boxes. It curves, yeah. As some of the structure, because normally the bath bombs sit on other bath bombs, part of the structure is now dissolving. So he's there. He's kind of got most of it there. He's pressing it to himself. You can see there's like a frothing ooze that's now going down one side of this poor kid's apron. The manager comes out and starts going, "Oh, what's going on?" And this gorilla is just leaning against the wall, loving it, kind of chuckling to himself, watching the entire show. At one point, he pulls out like a stick of gum, starts chewing it, and that's like an old like Wrigley's gum I'm talking about as well, not even like the small shit. He's just noisily chewing and watching this all go ahead. Eventually, the manager and the employee pulls everything together, and they're like, "Let's see what we can make of this." And they pull it inside, and the guy just keeps apologizing and apologizing, his voice getting more shaky as he goes along. Is there anything you're going to do before they exit into the store?
I mean, effectively, if they've got all the stock back together, it sounds to me like they need a new supplier for whatever cartons and whatever they're using, because they're just not good enough. So I'm going to be composing a text to Damien that we need to basically update Lush's boxing inventory.
The manager turns around and says, "Oh, but it's sustainable packaging," and points out that, you know, this is recycled pulp, and it is basically egg box material. The gorilla basically laughs out loud, like a big Brian Blessed laugh. "Yeah, that's what we needed. Better egg boxes, trip proof egg boxes is what you needed."
I mean, this guy's just trying to get a rise here. Quite obviously, I don't want to give him the satisfaction, no matter how annoying he is. I'm going to try my best. Kate's going to try her best as much as possible to ignore him and just try and make sure the manager's needs and his employers' needs are met as much as possible to help them out here. And yes, definitely. I mean, I'll say, look, we can still stick with reusable packaging with biodegradable stuff. This is not an issue. There's lots of different options on the market. We can definitely improve on this. After all, you know, you got to prepare for the worst of the people in the world, just as much as you do for the good days.
He goes, "Ooh," when you say the worst of the people in the world. The manager just says, "Oh, thank you," accepts your card because, you know, you've declared who you are, and says, maybe I don't know, maybe we can have some sort of trolley that we can put them on or something like that, because, you know, I've been in his position trying to get through the crowds, and it is difficult. She does shoot an absolutely scathing glance at the gorilla and says, "Come on, you know, worst comes to the worst, we all get to take home some, you know, part ruined bath bombs, right?" And he's like, what? And this poor kid's stuttering his way into the store. The manager's now kind of just mostly fixing on him because he's looking so shaken, and he's starting to shake so much that he's going to lose more bath bombs any minute. And they get into Los Oxford Street, which is a lovely store, and the crowd swallows them going in and out of the store. He turns and goes, "How very virtuous of you." Is that all you got?
What exactly are you expecting?
To be impressed. Spits the gum onto the pavement, turns around in disgust and walks off.
Okay.
You kind of like, dick. Turn around and start walking. Give me a perception check.
Okay. Have a look. What do you want to? Any difficulty on this, or
1.
perception? Yeah. Is that even coming through? Because I'm not seeing anybody else's rolls on my dice roller. Should I be?
Okay. Yes, you should be.
Right. Okay.
Right. Hang on. Let me send you something, and you can jump in using that. I will have to send it in the Zoom chat, which means our viewer's going to get a bit weird for a second. Hang on.
Okay. Bear with me.
Hit that.
Technical difficulties, as always.
It's our
There we
tradition.
are. Of course. There we are. That looks much better. So I'll do the whole thing again. Yeah.
Yep.
Does that mean you've not had any of the stuff I've done, like the
Destiny, but someone else
Destiny.
rolled for you, so it must have been that Joseph rolled twice. But it's fine. I mean, it's
Okay.
I could just hit the button 4 times myself.
There
Okay,
you go. That doesn't look good.
that's a failure. Okay, you
This might as well happen. Yeah.
the rest of your trip is completely normal. Yeah, just normal.
Okay.
So yeah, when you get to Austin Friars, you see a very shaken Ilka, and you get yourself a drink and head towards her. At which point I will start writing up the new poll if you want to have a little moment of RP.
Well, I take it your morning's going better than mine.
Hi, Kate. Would you like a schnapps?
That good, eh? Sure. I'll
Okay,
take one of them.
so-
I'm like still wiping lush off of my face.
So it will be unusual because Ilka has never actually drunk alcohol with her friends before. She has always been absolutely teetotal. She's always been drinking
Right.
non-alcoholic drinks when she's
Poll is up, by the way.
Oh, okay. So in that case, I'd be surprised, I suppose, that you've.
And yes, yeah, just weird. It's so weird. Are you okay? You look a little glittery.
Oh, this is
It's a look.
this is just a Tuesday, really.
Hey, have you had to bail Elizabeth out of some sort of I don't know what, glitter party or something?
No, I have that scheduled for this afternoon.
Oh yeah. Oh,
No, some gorilla
Ooh.
decided he didn't like, didn't like nice smells, and decided to make a mess on the pavement.
a gorilla.
A gorilla. Big giant ape. Yeah.
A literal ape.
Well, no, not a literal ape, obviously, but might as well have been.
Oh, you mean I I forget the word, but it has rhyming slang. I remember that bit. Yeah, banker.
A
It was a
banker.
banker.
A banker. um, yeah.
Yep.
Something like that. Yes.
Ah,
For those that don't know what Ilka's talking about, London has a thing called rhyming slang. The apples is stairs. Apples and pears, stairs. He's a merchant, mate. He's a complete merchant. Merchant banker.
Yes.
Wanker. So we have a tie, which means that we're going to do a shootout. I would like both Christy and Joseph to roll me a single yellow dice, please. Highest result. So successes beat advantages, and obviously triumph wins all. So
is there any difficulties?
No, just a single one. Yeah. Of course you rolled the same. Roll again. Can't take them anywhere, really.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Okay, so someone got because it doesn't say who you are. So somebody did win.
I rolled second.
You rolled second, so you won. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Success and advantage beats just a success. We got there in the end. So, Star, your scene started quite a few hours ago, actually. You've just had a bit of a time since. So, a few hours ago, you were doing a personal errand in Whitechapel. And for once, it wasn't coffee. It was genuinely part of your job. The usual London crowds are fiercely close. And, even more so than you'd normally get in Whitechapel. Somebody does stick out, however. Amongst the regular business crowd, where even you stand out a bit, you spot a man in a patchwork blazer and a pink bowler hat, capering through the crowd like a street performer. Yeah? And when I say a patchwork blazer, like someone took a patchwork quilt and turned it into a blazer, right?
I love this.
He's got this like bright neon pink bowler hat on. He's ratty. He's got a ratty beard. He's got the bushiest eyebrows you've ever seen. This kind of look that says he's on drugs. And as I say, he's capering around and jumping in and out of people, which you know is the most annoying thing in a pressed crowd. Yeah. People seem to be ignoring him, which is probably for the best, and the very stiff upper-lipped British public is doing the usual thing of, if I don't know how to react to you, I'm going to pretend you don't exist. He is capering in and out. You lose him and he turns up again, and you lose him and he turns up again, and then suddenly, out from between two people, he just bumps right into you. From nowhere. Someone as brightly lit as this, and he just suddenly cuts through the crowd and body checks you. As he does so, he forces something into your hand and wheels away, pirouetting like a ballerina. He's about three people away before you realise what is in your hand. What you have is a very highly polished mahogany walking stick with an ill-fitting brass knob on the top. The knob looks really out of place, like someone's ripped it off like a small door or a desk drawer or something like that and just thought, oh, a knob. Canes have knobs on the end and put it on there, but it's completely mismatched. The rest of the cane is beautiful, really, really nice. Beautiful wood, brass fittings, all the rest of it. The colourful figure is now retreating with a smile, looking back at you. You have seconds to maybe shout something at him or what? What is your immediate reaction? What's your bang reaction when...
As soon as they hit into Star immediately turns around and says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I get in your way? Wait, what? You left your walking stick. Sir.
Okay. He laughs this, this crazed high pitched giggle as he carries on capering through the crowd.
Star looks to make sure that he. How needed does Star feel from the others?
How needed?
Does Star feel in this? Whatever they're doing.
You do everything on your own time. You manage your own time in Excelsior. Everybody's passion driven. It's one of these weird companies that gives you like infinite holiday.
Star is now chasing straight after this guy.
Okay. You have a feeling he's toying with you. He is holding back a little bit to kind of give a bit of a chase. And bear in mind, in order for you to do that, you're having to kind of go, oh, excuse me. He's really kind of pirouetting and prancing through them all in a way that seems like he's completely unimpeded. But then he does kind of, like at one point he's prancing backwards and kind of looking at you as if to go. You don't seem to be gaining on him. He's just toying with you for a bit.
Star's not cocky enough to throw this Starfang. I don't think that would end well.
You feel like you're about to lose him. He seems to be picking up speed. And he's disappeared into the crowd twice.
In the crowd.
Sorry, what's that? You stuttered out a bit.
Star will stop chasing and just get in an area where there's a bit less crowd and just stand up as high as they can and start waving for this guy.
He waves back at you, but he does so like the Queen.
Star is confused, lost, and Star is going to slowly walk back towards wherever they came from with this walking stick, not using it as a walking stick, like holding it in both hands, like really awkwardly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In defeat.
You do watch that he throws the pink bowler hat up into the air, and that's the last you see of him.
Star is going to immediately take out their phone and take a photo of it and say, "Is this your cane?"
Where are you sending it to?
Any and all social media that Star immediately has up.
Yeah, sure.
Make a very confused TikTok.
Yeah, confused TikTok. It's on. You put it on Facebook. You put it on Twitter. Instagram. This crazy guy in a pink hat gave me this cane. What the hell is it? Lol. Sure. Yeah. You carry on. You do notice that more people are bumping into you. Not everyone. Just every so often, someone just bumps into you. They're being really rude about it. Yeah. But after a while, you get into your stride, and as you do so, you get back into the whole kind of thing. Maybe you're just a bit rattled. You can't show fear in these crowds. It's like it's like wolves. You can't show fear. You got to look them in the eye, right? You start going. I mean, is there anything you're gonna do with this fucking stick that you've just been given?
Just holding it very awkwardly and just having a look at it. Just a bit confused.
As you look at it, give me a perception check. Diff 1.
Okay. So that would be 1 green diamond thingy. Yeah.
Yeah, a 1 purple that you do. So yeah,
okay.
whatever it tells you your roll is for perception, and 1 purple.
Yep.
Oh wow, wow, you're perceptive.
Oh no, I rolled the wrong thing.
Okay, right.
Yeah, I'm not that perceptive.
I was about to say he's like Jedi. Oh right, there we go. Still a couple of successes. So yeah, you do notice that your original perception was correct. Someone seems to have taken a knob off a drawer or maybe a cupboard door and nailed it unceremoniously to the top of this beautiful staff. To the point where one of the nails is bent on it.
Just really confused.
Yeah. The walking stick seems to be for someone of your height. Yeah, it's really weird. And as you're there looking at it, you suddenly realise you're at your destination. You're like, oh. You get the errand. The errand is for you to come in and sort out somebody's rig. Yeah, they've downloaded the broadcasting software. It just isn't working. They're supposed to get all the green screening sorted out, but at the moment they can't even get the rendering sorted out. The frame rate is fucked, and they don't know why. It's normally just a thing you choose. How can the frame rate be out? And someone says, "What's that? Some sort of prop?"
Someone gave it to me. I don't know what it is. Do you recognise it?
It's a stick.
Yeah.
London, eh?
Yeah.
If you want, throw it over there in the recycling. I mean, it's good wood there. Yeah, I know. Maybe we'll take it to a charity shop or something. Anyway.
I think I'll keep hold of it because I want to try and see if I can get it back to the person. I don't know.
All right, fair enough. Right, so anyway, I was saying, and you help him out. Other than that, your day seems to go pretty well, actually. You're normally having to, at some point in the day, rush to get where you're going. But seemingly you kind of get to places on time. That was like the weirdest thing of your day. The rest of your day is like disturbingly normal, is what I probably describe it as.
Yeah. Star, not wanting to actually use this walking stick, will probably like hook it on their backpack or something.
Sure. Absolutely.
Make it look like they don't know how a walking stick works.
Okay. A few hours later, you realise that you're late for Austin Friars. And you do start running, knowing that you're going to be late. You just don't want to be that late. So it shocks you when you get there perfectly on time.
Yeah, okay.
You look at your watch and think, your watch must have been wrong or something. Yeah. The second that you think that, you go, no, my watch is correct. That is the correct time. Anyway, that's you. We don't need a poll for the last one. The harp.
Yeah.
The harp has gone to Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Sorry, Elizabeth. I'm going to get that wrong more than a few times. I've only just stopped calling you Kirsty because I've got a cousin called Kirsty. Anyway. Don't worry, it's not lack of attention, it's just old age, premature old age. I just need to note down a couple of things. So, Ilka did that. Kate did that. Star didn't do that.
This actually makes me extra nervous.
No pressure.
Yeah, I'm
no pressure.
Terrified.
You know, these are all really easy scenarios. So earlier today, and yours is a little further back in the day as well. It didn't like just happen like it did with Ilka. You took a shortcut over the Light Dockland Railway to get to a client. Yeah, it's quite a nice route. Light Dockland Railway. You're not underground. You know, you get to enjoy a little bit of the sun. There's a bit of sun going on here. And on the bridge, you can see a man clearly about to jump to his death.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, like I say, just simple, easy scenarios. You're fine. Yeah, he's stood on the parapet. He's wearing a suit, quite clearly a guy from the finance sector. And two people are already trying to talk him down. One of them's an army cadet, and she seems to be trying to just use cold logic on him, saying, "Listen, mate, studies say that like over 90% of suicide survivors say the second they attempted it, they found a reason to live. You need to think this through, yeah? You know, come down. I mean, you just got to have that moment to think it down, yeah?" You know, she's a young army cadet, seems quite with it. Hair tied back in what's it called? It's a Mancunian facelift, is it? You tie it so tight there's no wrinkles in your face. You know, she's clearly trying to command the situation, you know, and just say to him, look, you know, just trust in me, trust in the fact that I know what I'm talking about, and you know, as long as you trust in me, you're going to be safe. And she's trying to give that authority of you're safe. You've got me. You're safe. The second one is actually a Rasta dock worker, right? So he's there. He's got his day clothes on. He's got like boots that look like they've gone through a chipper. He's got his hair kind of tied up, and he's got it in the. Sorry, I don't know what a Rasta's hairnet thing is called, the beanie. I think it's a beanie actually. He goes, mate. It's your stresses that they say it's your stresses that kill you, man. It's those that need to go, bruv. Take what money you got saved, explain everything to your partner, what gave you that wedding ring, and go live life, bruv. Yeah, you know, damn the man, yeah? You owed a good time, brother. You know, there's so much more you got to live for. Yeah. And he's looking at him with a award-winning smile, yeah? He's clearly, you know, using this kind of, you know, trying to get the guy to think of something that he could do. The guy's clearly loaded. You look at the designer shoes. I mean, you fucking Elizabeth. You can tally his fucking suit at a glance.
Is he bigger than me? Is he taller than me, or am I taller than him?
He is probably. You're quite tall, so he's probably of the same height as you. You can see from both of them, both of the people trying to help, they're keeping their distance, and you don't think you'd be able to kind of lunge in and do like a heroic save or anything like that in time. And you know, this is definitely going to be a strength of personality thing.
Okay.
So I mean, you know,
because she would have totally tried it. I do a lot of Pilates. I'm in good shape. I have you.
Both of the people, both the army cadet and the dock worker, turn around to you because you're the only other person to have turned the corner. Because this is kind of a little tuck away. It's like one of those stairs that come off a flyover and go down into the street. They're looking at you as if to say, fucking come on then, chip in, kind of thing.
Okay, well, you know what? Not today, Satan. As my good friend Oprah says, you take one step at a time, young man. Turn around. What could face you that is possibly have you end your life? I was in a movie, you know.
The guy looks at you with complete bemusement. Both the dock worker and the army cadet look at each other as if to go, what the fuck did she just say?
Get the fuck off that thing. Get down right now.
He goes, I fucked up. I fucked up.
Yeah,
No, this is the end. There's no coming back from this.
I was in Knife Fist Gun 2, and if we could do a third part to that movie, you can live life. Now get down.
At this point, you're gaining time because he doesn't even know what half of those words mean, and he's just there looking at you as if to kind of. I mean, he's almost enraptured with the fucking conversation at this point, going, "What the fuck?" And
okay, did I distract him enough where I can just kind of yank him down?
I would say you're getting a bit closer. At this point, oh fuck, I didn't expect this. Okay, so the army cadet raises her eyebrows at the dock worker. The dock worker kind of looks a bit quizzical, looks at you and goes, Yeah, bruv. What she said. You know, you know what it's like. She's a knocker. Yeah, she's a chancer like me. She gets knocked down, she gets back up again. You know what I'm saying?
Hair flip, wink.
At the moment, I'm laying brick and I'm loading up the ships, mate. But tomorrow is my golden day. You know what I mean? Tomorrow something's going to come along, and then after that, it's party time, mate. That's what it is. That's what she's talking about. It never ends, mate. It never ends. Live till you die. Not by that route. The army cadet is just like. She almost wants somebody else to look at as if to go, fucking hell, how can I work with these two? She's quite straight-laced, quite conservative. She was commanding the situation before, and now you're loud, proud, and in charge. And she's just like, how the fuck do I get back on top? And she goes, okay, listen. And he suddenly looks at her, and he grips hold of the thing and kind of takes one foot off as if to say, I'll jump. But he doesn't actually say the words because he's still looking at you because he's still fucking going...
Yes.
Are you drunk, lady? I mean, and he just... Yeah.
Let's go have a drink. Or just dance. Live life to the fullest. You want my autograph? Come on, get whatever. Just come on. This is stupid.
I need to get you to fucking roll. What do you think would be... What strength are you currently using against this guy? Because I'm at a loss.
Ooh, charm or coercion or deception?
Coercion
or negotiation.
Well, actually, coercion weirdly can work in this situation because you are being a little bullying. But
I'm equally good as both, so...
Whatever you want to choose.
I'm going to go with charm.
Okay, diff 2.
Okay.
Yeah, you got rid of a couple of setback dice, largely because he just doesn't know what you're about and kind of is intrigued.
Okay, so the difficulty is the purple one?
Diff is always 2 purple. If I start putting reds in, which the shit has hit the fan if I started putting reds in, I will actually state a red and 2 blah, whatever. But if I say diff 2, it's always 2 purple dice.
All right, I want to make sure that I got that right, and I do. Okay. Okay. You start capering around to get close to him. Basically, you're like, and the I'm walking on sunshine, young one.
Yeah, you're doing the walking on sunshine kind of thing, coming forward, and he's mostly not telling you to keep back because he doesn't think you'd understand even if he did. He thinks you're just a crazy lady and that you're not trying to save him. The dock worker completely picks up on your vibe. He is so into this, he starts capering forward as well. The army cadet goes, huh? As she does that, and the guy hears her and goes, huh? Kind of watching as you're coming closer, but he doesn't see either of you trying to save him. Just 2 crazy fuckers dancing towards him when he's on a ledge and about to die.
When you're a shark in a jet, you're a jet.
I was talking West Side Story the other day. I've been in it twice. He suddenly tips the dock worker, tips you a wink, goes into like a shall we dance position. Are you going to get into the dance position with him?
I would definitely do it.
Yeah? This guy's got some moves. Yeah? He immediately starts taking you round like you're on the fucking King and I, right? And, you're like, oh, you want to out bull dance me? Ain't happening. And you're there keeping perfect rhythm with him. And he goes, and a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, grab him. Between the 2 of you, you grab him, pull him off into the walkway again. He's there like, no, it's the end. And as he does so, the dock worker grabs the guy with his hands, both hands either side of his head, and gives him the biggest wet sloppy kiss, right?
Got him.
He then grabs hold of the guy, sticks one arm around his waist, the other one in a dance position. He goes, "Oh, brother!" Starts pirouetting the guy. The guy is kind of literally swept off his feet. His feet aren't touching the floor. He goes, "Oh, brother! I am going to show you the town that never sleeps. I am going to show you a life that you have never seen before. You see this lovely lady here? You're going to know a life just like her. You know why? Because opportunity knocks, my friend. Opportunity does fucking knock in this town. And I'm going to show you that this life you're going to throw away. You know what? Tie off." He's like, What? Get your fucking tie off, mate." And he's like, "What?" And you can see at this point the army cadet is looking on in disgust, rolling her eyes, leaning back. She does not like what's going on. He goes, "You take your tie off, and you're going to kill your previous life. You're going to take off your tie, and you're going to throw it over the edge. You're going to take off that blazer, and you're going to throw it over the edge. And then you're going to take that briefcase. Actually, no, sell that. We're going off for some beers."
Yes.
The guy is absolutely flabbergasted. He's completely stunned by this joint performance, and goes, but kind of weird tears roll down his eyes, and he starts undoing his tie, then takes off his jacket, balls them both up, goes to throw them, and pulls out his mobile, puts it in his pocket, and throws the tie and the jacket over the bypass. He picks up the briefcase and goes, "So where are we going then?" "Brother, everywhere. And let's go." And the dock worker starts singing to himself, and leading this guy back towards the light Docklands Railway to get on it and go presumably over to Piccadilly Circus, Soho. Who knows? He's taking him somewhere where there's probably beer. And
My work is done.
the army cadet looks at you with kind of like a exasperated sigh. "Fine then."
You wish you were this fabulous. Maybe you should take the stick out of your butt and live life too, Blade.
She gives you a shriveling look, but it doesn't seem like it's too judgmental. It's more resigned. She picks up her mess bag and says, "I've got things to do, love," and walks off.
Bye, Bitter Betty. I've got things to do too.
See, I don't even... I'm going to raise the diff on the next thing you're going to do. Because it's you. Right?
Of course, it's...
I would like you to do a perception check, but I'm going to give it diff 3.
Okay. What is my perception?
Because I honestly don't think you would notice.
I would probably be still dancing. Who knows? That's a success and an advantage. What?
Right. So your groove is so on today. Saved a life again. Yeah. Again. Saved a life, changed a life, made a life better. Generally being fabulous. You do notice that a lot of people are smiling at you today. Clearly a lot of fans out there today. Yeah.
Autographs for everybody.
Yeah. You watch a metaler couple. Yeah. One wearing a Thrasher t-shirt. Another one seems to have she's got a whole Nightwish thing going on. And even though they are chalk and cheese compared to you, they give you a bright smile and kind of a nod to say hi.
What's up?
Yeah, which again in London is incredibly friendly. A lot of kids turn around and say, "Mummy, mummy, look at the pretty lady," and recognize, yeah, yeah. So, you're just really popular today. Super, super
I have
popular.
I just think it's a normal day. This is Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah. It's just you notice that that quite a few buskers end up kind of giving you a wink and singing a little louder and kind of dancing kind of for you almost as you're passing. Yeah, it's a good day.
It's a good Instagram day.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys know what's going on with Elizabeth before she even gets to Austin Friars. You see it in picture format. It's almost like a storyboard. Yeah, so
And then I'm totally Facebook gloating. I saved a person's life today. Not today, Satan.
and as a result of your need, your absolute need to be able to do this on social media and stop for everybody and say hi to everybody and take a picture with the buskers and all the rest of it, you turn up late. Fashionably late, of course.
I was going to be late anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you got there on time, you'd have to go around the block, right? I mean, that's how it works. And yeah, you're feeling particularly. You're ready to inspire, darling. You're ready to inspire.
I'm so inspirational. I'm inspirational as fuck.
And you sweep into Austin Friars as the magnificent, majestic figure that you are. And with that, we're going to take a 10-minute break. We will see you in just a little bit, where everybody gets to catch up with their stories and make whatever sense or nonsense they can of it. We'll see you in 10. And welcome back, everybody. When we left off, our four players, our four characters, had four very strange and different occurrences, events throughout their day. That has been the highlight, question mark, of their day. And now they are all together in the lavish Austin Friars restaurant. There's people all around you, day drinking, socializing, networking. All three words mean exactly the same thing. And yeah, you are all together. Elizabeth, when you walk in, you can see Kate has got smears of what seems to be pink and purple glitter war paint on.
This is normal.
Star seems to have some ratty-looking prop with him in Austin Friars. That boy. And Ilka seems to be on her third schnapps.
Ew. And I'm just gonna kind of still be like in jazz dance mode, like ooh, do do do. I would like a vodka tonic with a slice of lime, and I hope it's organic. And turn the music up.
If you flip a light side point, it happens.
Oh. Which one is that again?
So the blackened white symbols at the top of the dialer, at the top of the roller. If you click one of the white ones, it will flip over to my side.
Okay.
There we go. The guy looks like he was about to say no, and you give him an award-winning smile, and he just, with a kind of cheeky grin, turns up the music, and everyone looks at first a little scathing of it, because this is not a dancing joint, this is a dining joint. But the music is good music. Just
yes.
Suddenly there's a lot of smiles around you.
Today.
Yeah, suddenly there's a lot of smiles around you, and even the people who look like they're about to complain don't.
They better not.
Is it me or has the music got louder? Elizabeth must be here.
Yes. Beth has just walked in, surely.
Sashaying around the corner with what was it, vodka martini, organic lime in her hand, dancing like she's at the Copacabana, is Elizabeth. Takes a seat with you all, and yeah, a strange mix of the day.
Oh, that's an interesting choice of walking stick.
It was weird. Kate, did something happen with you? There's something on your face. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's
just
some.
thought it was.
This is nothing. Don't worry about this.
It's a new choice. That's
okay.
quite a choice.
Elizabeth, why is Knife Fist Gun 3 trending?
I'm just in a mood. I think they're wanting me to play my return role as these spy coffee girls, the barista with a badge and a gun and a knife and a face.
What happened?
Well, apparently there was. I'll let you tell it.
I'm just out here saving lives as usual. You know.
Is that like some sort of slang? I'm really.
It's a life changing.
There's a picture here of you on a bridge dancing.
It is Tuesday.
Well, we talked about this.
We talked about Tuesdays are dance
No,
day.
bridges.
It's turn up. You turn up on Tuesday in the club and in the walkways and on bridges.
Is that a thing?
Oh,
Oh,
bridges.
I'll add it to my calendar. Okay.
Yes, there you go. Yes, Tuesdays for dancing.
Star now has it, reoccurrence on his calendar.
Yep.
Tuesday is dance day.
Tuesdays for dancing.
He doesn't know what to do with it, but it's in his calendar.
Yep. It's
Bridge dancing day specifically.
Kate, you should be grateful she was not on the bridge. Well, on the parapet of the bridge.
Oh, you're
I don't
drinking.
know.
You're day drinking. Oh, wow.
Drinking, yes. This is what you've driven me to.
Yeah.
This is what you've driven Ilka to. Look, Ilka's drinking.
Ilka's just downed another schnapps. Yeah, bottoms up, huh?
You look especially radiant, Ilka. Is it a new makeup or regime, or are you listening to me about Pilates?
No. I am as I usually am, although today has been weird in I oh yeah, I was walking along the tube tunnel, and this strange woman sort of came up to me and I guess was begging or something, but anyway, I gave her a bottle of water and an apple and an orange, and she was very grateful. But I didn't see her arrive, and I didn't and she left, but she was going really slowly, and then suddenly she just wasn't there, and I was the only one in the tunnel, and at bank, bank, it's busy all the time.
Well, which tunnel? Because it's London. A lot of them are haunted.
Haunted?
I would have maced her straight away and just kept on about my business.
Oh. But the really weird thing was, I went onto the platform and suddenly there was, it's bank. There's lots of people. And then they, led me through to the front, to, the yellow line, and, in front of the train. And then somebody gave up their seat for me. I have
You're not
been
pregnant,
in London
are you?
for over a year. I have never seen anyone give up their seat for someone. Never. Not on the tube, at least. I just... it's weird. And then I come in here and I ask for schnapps and they don't have schnapps. I know this. I know they don't have schnapps. I was going to go for tequila. The manager goes and brings me schnapps. This is not just, crap schnapps.
And the bottle is on the table.
This is which you would give royalty type schnapps. It's really good. Would you like some? I'm gonna have another.
Have you checked social media? Has anything come out? I'm gonna have a Google of Ilka.
You Google Ilka. Ilka doesn't have much of a social media presence. You know that she has accounts so that she can check social media, but she deliberately blends into the background. She's she has no social media presence other than you can go and find her postless Twitter account, her postless Instagram account. She monitors only. There's nothing on there. However, you do notice that Knife Fist Gun 3 has gained 12,000 followers in the last hour alone.
But I suppose I'm your friend. Star is now following Knife Fist Gun 3.
12,001.
Well, I think count your blessings and pass me a shot. I think it shouldn't be something to freak you out about. I mean, you know, it it's a blessing. I wish I had that courtesy at times.
Elizabeth. Just
Like it's
downs.
fun the more you drink.
Okay.
Elizabeth, you seem to know eccentric people. Do you recognize this walking stick?
I recognize that this is very garish. I mean, who would put this on top of that?
Yeah.
And
It-
how are you going to match that with anything you wear? You don't wear anything that is flashy.
So
Should
yeah, Elizabeth, this is the walking stick is a travesty. It's a typical thing. It's like somebody who goes down to one of the famous markets. I'm trying to remember one in particular, and I can't bring it to mind. There was a film Hugh Grant, but I can't remember this particular market. And gets like a proper antique, and then they'll go and do something really bad to it. They'll weld something to it, or put a hole in it, or they'll do something worse, like take off the patina. Like they'll this antique patina that's on the wood, and they'll sand the damn thing. Completely classless. And this isn't the worst you've seen. I mean, the nails could be taken out, the knob could be taken off, and they could put like a proper silver knob on it, or something like that, or a wolf's head, or something along those lines. But this is garish. It's terrible. Yeah, you don't know why anybody would do this.
What on earth? I don't know for the life of me, Star, why you would carry around such a thing. It's it's like having a Fabergé egg as a Glade plug-in air freshener. Speaking of which, you smell like a Glade plug-in, Kate. Just saying.
Well, I didn't have time to have a shower before we came here. I didn't want to miss our drinks.
True.
I'll get one when I get back to the office. It's fine.
Yeah, and
But
you
Star,
know
to
the
answer
pink
your-
especially does stain the skin slightly, so you're gonna have a bit of scrubbing to do later.
I mean, to answer your question, Star, no, I don't know anyone for the life of me that would carry around something as, I don't want to say ugly, but I just
it's
did.
ugly. I was given it, and it was this interesting person, but I'm gonna see if I can get it back to them.
Okay, well,
Yeah, and it does not surprise the remaining three of you at all that Star is going to hunt London, the highest population density for a city of its size. The next one that has a population density as thick as London is in China, right?
Yep.
And somehow Star is going to find, in amongst this absolute horde of people, he's going to find one person and give them their junk back.
This is
That's gonna keep
totally what Kate believes Star is capable of, because this is why these are the errands that we give him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If he can't do this, he's fired.
Star, I saw your TikTok. Funny, but you should get Elizabeth on it. Like, she's trending now. You should get the stick trending. Knife fist gun 3 and
No, can
walking.
we minimize how many PR nightmares I have to deal with today, please?
Oh, come, Kate.
and then I take Star's thing and
Wake
start
up.
talking around. And like, this reminds me when I was little Miss Cow Pie.
Oh, be careful! I don't want it getting broken.
As you start playing with the stick, you fumble it.
Oh, God.
Elizabeth hits the floor and starts rolling towards Star.
Oh,
I will
well, enough of that. I don't think this is
Back
the
up.
setting for that. I thought you were supposed to tell me when not to do things, Kate.
I've given up trying to stop you. I just deal with the aftermath.
Okay.
Yeah, this is odd. I don't know.
Ah, so, so what were you doing on the bridge?
I was on my way here, and then I saw a man attempting to off himself, and I said, "This cannot stand, not on a day like this. Tuesdays for dancing, and dancing we shall." And I saved his life, basically. Through the power of dance.
Kate, I think I'm really drunk. I think she's just said she saved a man's life.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, have you been drinking before you got here?
I mean,
I don't want to
no-
question you, but
Can you elaborate, Beth, the steps between Tuesday starting and you saving a life?
I mean, what is there not to understand? To answer your question, I've only had 3 mimosas. That's how I start breakfast. But yes, I saved a man's life by walking past him and convincing him slash grabbing him in the midst of doing a fancy pirouette. Saved his life and convinced him to live life to the fullest.
So you pirouetted a man off of the edge of a bridge.
No, he didn't go in, but he did throw his tie and his briefcase and his overcoat in, which is the first step of shedding that old life and starting a new bright one.
Star is just looking at their overcoat and just holding onto it quite tightly now.
Kate's somewhat. Well, at this point, Kate's less worried than she was when she had less information about it. Actually, for Beth, this is extremely mild and less worrying than the previous things. Yeah.
You danced by yourself.
This might only take one phone call to solve, you know.
You danced by yourself and pirouetted a man off a bridge.
No, it wasn't by myself. I had help. I mean, how else do you do a foxtrot by yourself? That is so silly. I found a nice dock worker, and he was all on board with my dancing. It was quite good, actually. Dancing by myself.
Yes, Prime, I am muted. That's largely because they're carrying it as their scene.
Elizabeth, I thought you didn't do the suicide prevention course.
Well, maybe, just maybe, I was feeling a little generous today. And, Freddie, he told me that he told me to be nicer, especially on today when I come here, and to be more altruistic. And I had I had a little bit I embellished. Okay, I had the 3 mimosas, and then I had a lager, and then just a slight bit of spirulina with a shot of rye.
Star immediately looks at Kate and says, "Do you want to just double check that what she's saying actually happened? Do you want me to?
Well,
I'm okay checking."
I was going to say yes. We need to. I'll be checking exactly what is going on over social media right now.
I took a picture. Beth. I took a picture, and it's probably like a picture of me holding on to him.
Instagram is my first point of call at this stage.
Yeah. Everything you can find, normally you wouldn't be able to find much about this, but it's her. She has lots of photo and video evidence to suggest everything, including the 3 mimosas, are all correct.
I mean, I'm not totally surprised. This isn't out of character at all. So How well is this going? I mean, what does this look like? Is like my PR radar going off here?
No, for the most part, no one really cared about that. In fact, the buzz right now is the ridiculous amount of likes that she's got. I mean, even for her, for what just seems to be her walking around and taking selfies with buskers. And the Hurtling now at 21,600 followers for Knife Fist Gun 3,
God,
which you've been trying to cancel for the last month.
This is the thinking sweatshop photo shoot all over again. So yeah, okay. I mean, at this point, I mean, it's getting big, right? It's blowing up all over Twitter right now, right? I mean, so this might need actioning. Yeah.
Yeah, not much about her saving somebody, just her being her is exploding.
Yes.
Right.
Elizabeth, do you want to start like a Patreon to see if we can get some donations for this knife fist gun for it?
No.
Yes, do it. Whatever the Patron tequila.
If I get a focus group together to see if anybody would be interested in a film, will that keep you happy?
They are plenty interested in my revival of Knife Fist 3. I mean, Knife Fist Gun 3.
Gun 3, yes.
Ping Entertainment News. Knife Fist Gun 3 funded and okayed by Miramax.
Oh God. I am at this point going to be writing a very long email to Damien going, can we get a focus group quickly, please? Preferably one that is extremely anti-action comedy flicks.
It's already happening. I'm going to say yes, Kate.
See, this is the problem. This is the problem.
She'll love it. She loves that tension. It's a film. It'll be fine. You worry too much, Kate, and I don't know what's gone wrong with my accent there. Sorry.
Well, despite your struggling with the accent, Ilka seems to be owning the table, even though she's drunk as a lord.
Yes.
Ilka seems to have this confidence all of a sudden. Yeah.
I'm gonna be over Star's shoulder, just like this. It's airdropping pictures to him of like to get the Patreon going.
The Patreon for the thing that's already been funded by Miramax. Yeah.
Yes.
Because don't let facts get in the way of a good Patreon goal.
Yeah, no, Star isn't even going to try and explain to Elizabeth what Patreon is or any of that. Just taking the photos and...
Yeah, I love the fact that you know what Patreon is. Elizabeth probably doesn't, but you said it, and so she's up for it.
Yeah.
Right, I don't have no clue.
Hello, Score. So, yeah, you know, so is there anything else? I mean, mostly I muted myself deliberately before, just to get a bit of the dynamic going between you all of how you would kind of have lunch together. Is there anything else you would like to discuss before you start going off to your new offices?
Ilka's going to be like, oh, I'm day drinking. I need to eat. Food. I need food. And she's just going to literally
3 waiters, not 1, 3 waiters walk up to you.
Hello? Can I help
What can we
you?
get for you?
One of everything, Ilka.
What? Why are they here? I thought I was gonna go to the bar and get food.
They're here to take your order. Ilka, do it.
Oh.
Everything.
I'll have this. What do you guys want?
Everything?
Oh. Okay. Yeah, we'll have one of everything. yeah, it's fine. Yeah, the card, the business account card. Yeah, just put it on there. That's fine. Yeah, one of everything, and my drinks. But not for me. Maybe a coca. Yeah, yeah.
Ilka, have you drunk before?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, you don't do Swiss National Service and not have the schnapps after the survival training. I don't, obviously, but it's I don't drink for a reason.
I drink for a reason. One reason.
Oh.
I drink for any reason.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe Ilka, you probably maybe you shouldn't be drinking anymore. Like, shall we get you some water or,
Yeah. I think I have. Oh, I have a 4-hour meeting with Lilith in an hour. Yeah. Water. Wasser? Yeah.
Water gets brought to you immediately, and the remainder of your order gets brought to you before other people who ordered before you.
like, no, a star is gonna like. As soon as they start bringing stuff, like say, no, if they ordered first, you should probably get their.
They're just putting things down. All three waiters, putting things down, going back to get more. The water appears immediately. People are looking at you a little bit kind of, hey, they're getting served before us, but they don't seem that angry.
I'm immediately taking pictures of the food.
Every picture of food gets around about 50 to 60 likes within the first minute.
Hashtag.
Hashtag
knife fist gun free.
Star is going to take out their phone and mute.
Yeah, sorry, dude. You followed this bullshit. The tag's going crazy.
Yeah.
Kate is getting very, very worried because things seem to be going really well so far.
I take a picture of Kate's worried face.
This is
Elizabeth. There's a ping for the picture you just took. The picture you took, I assume you put on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah. Immediately, there's a thing that says, "Who's the hottie?"
Kate. And then just start putting all her contact information.
Hold on. Is this on the official Elizabeth account that Kate monitors, or one of the official Elizabeth accounts?
That's a good
One of
point,
the ones I
actually.
haven't found yet.
That was canon, because are you doing it on your official one, which Kate has deliberately put on a 1 minute
delay, so I can
screen
everything.
And edit?
Or I'm doing it on all my accounts, even my
on your burners as well. Okay, sure. Yeah, so Kate, you managed to get rid of the first one, but then several burner accounts get added onto it, and you're just like, oh god. And somebody says, "Who's the hottie?" and your contact details get put on there.
Best manager ever.
Best manager ever.
Over representation sin.
There's a lot of love for Kate all of a sudden. I mean, bigged up by such a big star. They're kind of like, oh, they're the magic behind the queen. Oh my god, good kind of thing. There's a huge amount of Kate love that happens over the next 10 minutes.
Right.
and
Well, Beth, this
For
isn't
some
the
reason,
way round this is supposed to work. I promote you, remember? And I'm certainly not paying you my rates to promote me.
still dancing, just dancing and taking picture of food. Okay.
Give me a performance check.
Performance. Let's see. What is my performance? Oh, ta-da.
Where is performance?
Is that, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
on
a performance might not be on there. It would be charm then. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Different Genesis games have different skills. Yeah, so give me a charm, and we're going to do something that is one of my favorite parts of Genesis. In some cases, you can choose the diff. The higher the diff, the greater the effect.
Oh, okay.
I would recommend anything above 4 is probably a little silly. 4 is probably a good maximum, but technically speaking, you can put as many purple dice in as you want, as long as you beat
Well, I'm
it.
gonna say she's been drinking, so a lot. There you go.
Diff 3, and she still nails it. Wow, other people in the room start dancing
Yes.
to the same music that you increased the volume on. This is not a place for dancing until a few seconds ago when you changed
I'm gonna
that.
go like this to Star, like roll it. You know?
Star goes into their bag and like says, like finds a way. There's all this. I don't really have much room to sit. Do you mind? I hate to be an obscure, but can you like move a table here so I can just set up a camera? Like
The waiter looks at you as if to say, "Do it yourself." Ooh.
Yeah, Star. That's great idea. Get one of the tables.
Oh, they do it
Table.
immediately.
I'm like, okay. I can help. And Star attempts to help.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to get a conga line started. Da, 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 ba.
Like, I feel like this is very dangerous with all these tables and chairs. And if Star sees a chair pulled out, they're gonna go and push it back in.
But between the conga line, of which the people who were previously dancing are now joining, around so much expensive glassware and things, I'm gonna flip a thing back, and the conga line, somebody from the conga line is going to knock a crystal carafe off the table. Star and Kate, you are the two who have enough wherewithal to try and catch it. Would either of you be doing that? I mean,
Star's trying to catch it.
I mean, yeah, I would probably do the same unless, it was like reaching across the room for it. But yeah, I'd give it a go. But then I think this just means
I'm going to describe this a bit weirdly, but for a reason. Star is closer, but Kate, you believe that you can still get there before he can.
Still going to give it a go then.
So, this unremarkable thing, the carafe gets knocked off. What happens is that Star is going to go catch it. He's there well in time. He can easily do it. As he does so, with like slick, almost like film martial art prowess, Kate puts out a single hand, boom, and catches the carafe perfectly in one hand. The carafe's top was off. It's been sloshed. As it sloshes back, some red wine goes up and it's about to hit somebody's, I'm going to say Elizabeth's dress. Yeah. This is like, this is Chianti. It's got so much tannin in it, it would ruin the dress. As the blob goes, and is about to hit Elizabeth's dress, Star goes and catches it mid-air. You didn't even realize you were doing it. And you've just caught this splash of Chianti.
Like, just
So
look for, like, wipe it on the underside of a tablecloth or something.
As you lift the tablecloth, a napkin falls into your hand.
Okay. And then put napkin back on the tape. Okay. You set up the camera. Yeah, need to do that.
Da, 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 da.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm glad this has been as non sequitur as I was hoping it was going to be.
Elizabeth, can I get a photo of you just holding this staff as
All right,
Kane as
and
you're
then
threatening?
she just whips around in her best model face.
Yep.
Without
Yep.
So,
Get that, and Star put that on their social media to try and. Do you know whose staff this is? Contact me on blah blah blah.
Somebody comments back, what staff? It's overdeveloped. And sure enough, she seems to be holding just like light. Clearly, the sunlight is coming through the window. It's bounced off the staff, and you can't see the staff. It's like you can see her, and then just this overexposed bit near her hands. But when you took the picture with you holding the staff earlier, it was fine, and they look back at it and go, no, I don't know where that is.
I just hand it back to him. Like, get this ugly thing away from me. Just.
Star is just going to be staring at their iPad, trying to see how they could have messed this photo up, and
It happens. Happens more
seeing
with
if they can-
SLRs rather than iPads and things, but
Yeah.
shit happens.
Yeah.
Okay. You film this riot going on in Austin Friars now, which is normally quite a very British, very
trying to make sure I
formal place.
don't get. Yeah. Star's going to turn to Kate and say, "Kate, do you want to try talking to someone here and see if we can, like, I don't know, do some advertising for them, because this is a bit mad."
are they already one of our clients?
No, but they do give Excelsior discount, so they're associated in that way.
I suspect we've probably had quite a few conversations with them about advertising.
Yeah. I mean, if they're doing discount, chances are you've already snared them for advertising at some point. Yeah. The manager seems to be fine with it. He's there saying, "It's spirited. It happens sometimes, I guess. It doesn't really happen like this all that much. This is one for the books, but no, we're happy, miss." And he gives you quite a friendly smile. This is normally quite of a stuffy joint. Great food, amazing food, really polite staff, world famous, Michelin star, but not usually a kind of jumping spot until your client came in.
Taking the phone out with the conga line and video.
No, Elizabeth, you're getting the angle wrong.
Yeah, it's all messed up. She probably.
Yep.
And yet getting insane amounts of likes.
Yep.
Okay. At this point, I'm starting to think this is probably just a dream, right? This doesn't happen. It's been what? We've been here 20 minutes so far. Elizabeth's dancing, and likes are still happening on social media. This isn't real.
Yeah. You've got to the end, nearly to the end of lunch, and you haven't had like a potential lawsuit already. This is a scary day for you, Kate. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, sure. You have a slightly wild lunch that takes about an hour and a half. The hour and a half is mostly just to get Elizabeth to sit down and fucking eat. But
Does she?
No,
I thought she
just
just take
drinking.
pictures of food.
drinking
Yeah.
and like grabbing a crudité every time her conga line goes past the table. Yeah. And yeah, you have a lovely, really weird lunch.
Yeah.
It's
If there's
Tuesday for me.
anything-
This isn't weird
It's
to me.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
If there's anything we don't eat, Sarah's going to ask whether or not they can like give it to anyone else, or like just don't let the food go to waste, sort of thing.
Yeah, the waiters seem happy with that. They go, yeah, sure, if you want, mate. And they go out and get you like kind of like the equivalent of doggy bags. Here you go.
No, I didn't want to give it to. Surely there's someone in the restaurant who'd take like this is a bit much for me.
I'm feeding olives
I mean-
to a dude and throwing. Here you go.
As long as you're doing it to the ones who were dancing previously, they're into it.
Yes.
The others are just watching, bemused, phones are out.
Yeah.
Even the people who are tutting while smiling. And yeah, it's a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, everybody else comes here, they got money to eat, mate. They'll eat what they want. Don't worry about any waste, you know, I mean.
Knife Fist Gun 3 coming soon.
Like, I've only watched the first one. I'm gonna have to watch the second one. Oh, the first one was so great. Elizabeth, you were shocking in the
Elizabeth.
first one. Elizabeth.
Yeah, likes are at 72,500. Sorry, followers for Knife Fist Gun 3 at 72,500 since this morning. Okay.
I feel like an hour and a half is enough time for someone to like Photoshop a bad trailer for it. Like that's definitely already out.
Yeah, somebody just does an icon follow on Elizabeth dancing, and there's a knife on it. The knife just hovering over her fake maracas. You know, there's a gun hovering over the other one. Yeah. Chaos ensues, and and as I said, somebody pulled clips from previous films already and splicing them in. Turning the dancing into like martial arts moves and things. They make her look like that. She's actually holding up a martini glass. It's it's a thing.
I want explosions and doves flying out.
And so an absolutely chaotic lunch, and it comes to the end. People are walking away almost like feeling a little self-conscious. Some of them are doing a kind of a walk of shame, going, "Oh, that was very strange." That it's like they're not quite sure what came over them, and others are just kind of embracing it a bit and going, "Sorry, I don't usually do that, but that was fun, right? That you got why I was doing it." And the person's there like, "Yeah, sure, right," as they sit down and rejoin them at the table, and you know that you are due to get to 30 St. Myriax, the Gherkin. So, you... how are you going to get across the city to the Gherkin?
Ilka, to be honest, I think you need this more than me, and Star's going to offer Ilka the walking stick to try and help her walk.
Yeah, I thought we would just get an Uber. I mean, no, let's get the, and she sends a message to the. This is really out of character for Ilka. She's obviously still quite drunk.
Yeah.
Sends a message to like the executive car service to get them to send a car to pick them up and like fast transport them back to the Gherkin.
Wow.
She would never do this usually. Like that drink has literally gone to her head. She's just abusing things she really wouldn't do normally.
Sure. So they say, yeah, sure. That's unscheduled. I assume this is like an emergency or something. I mean, we've got enough. We've got enough. I mean, how many people do you need it for?
Four.
Five.
Four.
Wait,
Four,
yeah,
five?
four.
Four.
Four, yeah, no problem. is this utility or show? We've got an already valeted people carrier, or we've got one of the limos.
She looks at Elizabeth, sorry. Maybe the limo. Yeah, limo.
Always limo for Ilka.
He says, absolutely, and sends you a limo.
Are you sure we could take like the bus or the underground? Are you sure?
Is this another situation where we were within walking distance?
I mean, it's London. London's got this weird illusion of you going, oh, right, so it's 3 stops away. You go and take the tube, and then you look back as you come out of the tube station and go, that was a block. And you realise that you could have walked it in the time it took you to get down to the bloody platform in the first place. It's very, very strange. No, I mean, there's a fair amount of distance between the two.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mariax isn't that close, is it?
No, not to where you currently are. No. So, yeah, a beautiful limo turns up. The guy who comes out is actually another worker of Excelsior. So the entire service, the car service, is just another department in Excelsior. And a lot of people who work for Excelsior are very happy to work there. There's tons of perks. As I say, because they're connected to theatre, you can get to theatre, cheaper cinemas, film premieres. You can get hold of like film memorabilia or signed things. There's food throughout the city, fashion, nightclub membership, or VIP kind of lounge access, even for like the lowliest worker. But the other thing as well is that because they are connected with film, celebrity, modeling agencies, things like that, a lot of people who work there are wannabes. The guy who gets out of the limo almost dances around the front with this almost Ainsley Harriott. Sorry for people who don't know who he is, but he was a British TV chef who kept dancing. He was a wonderful guy, great energy. And he dances around to the front, pulls out a polishing cloth, polishes the figurine on the bonnet, walks around to the guest side, and to the passenger side, opens up the back passenger door. And is standing there. He's young 23-year-old. Well, I say young 23-year-old, young compared to me. He's a 23-year-old lad. He seems to be, you think maybe kind of Iranian kind of guy, with kind of like a Hollywood beard. So he's got like a beard and stubble at the same time. Well-groomed, fit. You can see he works out. Bright grin, great pearly whites, and a bit of a twinkle in his eye as he watches you four coming out. The type of welcome that you usually get, this kind of star quality welcome that you get from being picked up by this particular branch of Excelsior. And yeah, he lets you in. He gestures you in, and yeah, he does. You can tell again he's London. He's got a lot of the London slang. He calls Ilka Duchess. It's like Duchess. Here we go. There you go. Just in the back there. There you go. Lovely. Okay. Watch your head. Watch your head. Yeah, kind of thing. And gives Kate a beaming smile, huge smile, as he gestures you inside. He points out where the champagne and the Perrier water and all the rest of it is, and all the rest of it. Says if you want any music on, he controls it from the front. And just give him a shout if you want any privacy, and he'll put up the screen. Once you're all in, he starts driving you to 30 St. Mary Axe.
Just before he starts driving, I'm going to go up. I'm going to sort of like approach the driver's screen.
Yeah.
And in a really bad whisper, go, I just remembered it's like a 7-minute walk from here to the Kirkin. And it's like a 4-minute drive. Can you do the long way around? But
I
obviously
must
it's
admit,
slightly
I
louder
didn't do the Google Maps thing,
I just
and
did
because
it. I just
I'm being the producer as well, I was there thinking, how
Did-
far is this drive? And then I was thinking, okay, if I remember the last time I went, because I've never been to Austin Fries, I walked past it. There's some other eateries that I could recommend in London,
Yeah.
because London's great for food. It's almost as good as New York. I was just thinking, okay, so that's there, that's there. It's not that far, really, when I'm thinking about it.
And-
So
but she does it in a really indiscreet whisper.
Yeah.
And then so Kate obviously heard it, but like, she is sobering up, but there's enough going on that she's a little bit unaware still.
yeah.
Kay, I don't know if this is your thing. This certainly isn't. Do you want to walk and let them two enjoy?
No.
No,
I'm not leaving these two alone. No.
Yeah, I suppose we should watch them. Yeah, I suppose
I've
a vehicle
already
with
am trying
alcohol is
to make
dangerous.
Star a pillow, trying to turn him into a pillow real quick.
Okay.
The link didn't work, but yeah, the link says that it is literally an 8-minute walk between the two.
This is why I asked. It's like, because we did this last time, I remember.
Yeah.
In the session 0, didn't we? We got a car to go like 5 minutes down the road.
Yep.
I think this is canon for us.
Oh no, it was
You know-
Brian who got the car that didn't go fast enough. That was
You know what? I was worried that none of us knew how to drive in this game. However, that isn't a worry.
I think at this point Kate is going to pour herself some champagne and down it in one and then pour herself a second one.
Sure.
Just like, what is going on?
He takes the scenic route. You pop the bubbles on the company.
Sure, why not? That might as well happen. Go for it.
Yep, and you. Yes, I've got a fixed scene for when you turn up at the Gherkin, and how you're turning up is amazing.
I want to pour some of the champagne in a Tupperware and tuck it in my purse and then
Drinking champagne out of a Tupperware.
put it back in my purse. and then
When
lay
you're this
back
beautiful, darling, everything is class. Okay, so yeah, he takes the scenic route around Bishopsgate, which is quite possibly one of the smallest areas in London. He kind of does like a figure 8 at one point just to kind of put a bit of extra mileage in. And gets to the Gherkin. The Gherkin. I was about to say looms. It's always loomed. It's 8 minutes away. It's already in the skyline. You pull up to the front door with, what was it, Kate sticking out the sunroof?
No.
Who was doing the
Kate's
pretty
not
woman?
Not at that point, but I assume the other two, yes.
Okay.
No,
At this
I'm
point.
laying on Star, and
Okay.
you probably hear the Tupperware of champagne sloshing in my bag.
So is it Ilka then? Ilka's out the top, like
Ilka was at
Waving.
the top. She would have gone back in
She would have gone back in, sure.
before the Gherkin arrived. She's not
Yeah.
that stupid.
Okay,
She's not that
yeah.
drunk.
You've got the smarts, yeah. So when you turn up, it's a little more subdued, but you do turn up downing your champagne and getting out of the limo to your workplace. And the limo is from your workplace. As you step out, you can see a familiar, not just familiar, famous figure talking to another famous figure. As Violette, this beautiful, as I say, androgynous, what used to be called boyish looks back in the day, that if a woman had a particular kind of handsome features. But now it's just an androgynous beauty, a gender-free beauty. And I based Violette mostly on the model Rain Dove. So anybody who knows who Rain Dove is, that's kind of the basis. and they are seeing Stephen Fry into the back of a similar limousine, as in from the same department, as uh, as the limo driver, who's just a female mid-30s, wearing the same kind of cap that your driver's wearing, is just going around the other side of the car. Violette is saying, "No, it's okay. I think we can do this. I think we can definitely do this. It's a really good cause, Stephen. And as far as I'm concerned, you have Excelsior's backing." And Stephen Fry turns around and says, "Oh, thank you, darling. And I do I don't like to be a bother." And Violette cuts him off and says, "No, no, this is what we want. We want you to come to us. We want you to start these fires of imagination with us, so that we can do these things. I mean, how are we supposed to do them unless you can bring these causes to our door? Please, Stephen, don't be a stranger." I won't, dear. I won't. Very tired these days. I am kind of retired now, but I suppose a little social visit every now and again would be well, it'd be pleasant. And Violette just gives this nice neutral porcelain smile and says, "Anyway, you head off." And he says, "Yes, I gotta go take the meds." Violette closes the door, watches the limousine leave. You have a feeling in slight mercy of you guys getting out of the limousine, because the second the last one of you closes the door, Violette straightens up, and Violette is wearing a suit. So kind of, I guess what would be like a trouser suit, but it's not with a blouse, proper shirt. So white shirt with a mandarin collar, so it doesn't have this bit, it's just kind of this bit. Mandarin collared white shirt, beautifully cut blazer, and then trousers, amazing shoes, kind of Oxford shoes, kind of brogues, and turns around almost with step ball heel, for anybody who knows the dance term, steps around with perfect grace and says, "Newcomers. Hello."
Star is hiding behind the others, like, this isn't probably how you want to turn up on your first day.
Non-plus, I just put my hand out. "Nice to meet you."
Nice to meet you again. I think it was I think it was Hugh Jackman.
Yes. Oh yes, I remember now. It was when I was on 7 seasons of As the Loin Burns. I almost got a daytime Emmy.
Yes, I was thinking more about the argument you had with Hugh Jackman, but he seemed to really
Yeah,
like
because
it.
he's a terrible sport at Call of Duty, and that he was cheating.
And yet he still insisted on going out to a club with you the next night. Yes,
Yeah.
A strange friendship, to be sure.
Yeah,
But
he's
yes,
a strange man.
he's a delightful man. And
Sometimes when he
you can see that VLS is kind of cutting their losses at this point. It's just kind of like, whatever you say, kind of thing. She does seem to be, sorry, not she, they seem to be sizing you up. As they're looking at you and kind of, you don't know if it's like judgment because you just got out of a company vehicle drinking company champagne, or something else.
know about my Tupperware champagne.
No, she doesn't. Sorry, they don't know about the Tupperware champagne, but they do see the general arrival that you had, and you can see that they're sizing you up on something, but they're not seeming to be judgmental or concerned about anything, but just attentive, I guess, is the look. And they turn around and says, "And Kate, Ilka, of course, need no introduction. And you can see as they look at Ilka, there's a kind of pause and says, "Good to see you here."
Ilka has gone from being still quite merry to like absolutely stone cold sober on seeing her. Has just like it's like all the alcohol has drained down to her feet.
It's in my
being
boots
removed
now.
from her brain. And she's just like it is honor and pleasure to see you again, Violetta. Yes, lovely. Yeah, and yes, a little bit flustered again because it doesn't usually get noticed. Not by the boss. The boss.
Yeah. They look at Kate and there's a kind of smile, a knowing smile as they look at you, and says, "Kate, you're in the right place. It's long overdue." And gestures to this towering, majestic, almost futuristic building behind them.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to getting started.
Of course. We have brought you here for a specific reason, but we'll talk about that in the meeting, which, after you've gone and checked out your offices, you'll be called to us. I've got a few things I need to sort out, and they kind of just look around, and deliberately make sure that Star knows that they looked at Star, but not really doing much else. Again, with this slightly encouraging smile, and again that knowing look, I guess, for you. And they say, "This is where it all happens. I mean, it happens everywhere, but this is how it starts. And that's why we need you here."
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyway, make yourself at home. Looks at the limousine as if to say, "As if you haven't already." And again, with this perfect grace, step ball heel. And it's not a full-on catwalk, but it's like the casual walk of somebody who has been trained to constantly have this type of grace. Violette walks inside the building. And the building is ready for you to enter. I presume that you start following them in, albeit at a slightly slower rate. They walk very much with purpose, always with purpose. They kind of march in one way.
Star's whole body drops and says, "Oh my god, we just had a conversation. That was Steve. That was.
It's all
This
right.
is amazing. This is.
It's okay.
This is.
Pull yourself together. It's okay.
Okay. Pulling around the backpack. I've printed off maps for each of us of the place in case we get lost.
Literally, the floor plan of the gherkin gets handed out to each of you.
Yep. Kate will take one immediately because, this is a big building.
Yeah.
I just stuff it in my bag immediately, probably upside down.
Okay.
I'm good. I already remember. Yes, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, so you go in and immediately they use an app. They pretty much all of their phones have it. The receptionist goes, "Yep, just need to log you in." Brings up their phone, probably a better phone than mine. Holds up their phone and it just uses the face profile to check who you are. And they say,
Full duck lips.
Fantastic. They don't, you can see that they just wave it in the general direction of Elizabeth, knowing who Elizabeth is, because she is a celebrity. So, but the other three of you do actually need to be tagged. And the one person who's a little more at home here is probably Ilka. Ilka's been here before. Well, I say everybody's been here. Star's never been here before. Kate's been here for the occasional meeting. Elka, kind of a weekly basis, you've been here with Lilith. And Elizabeth has been here, but literally only gone into the lift and gone to the top where the nightclub is and back down again. Yeah. That is it. Yeah.
And that's exactly where I'm assuming we're going.
So you get slightly disappointed when you get told, okay, so you're all on the 19th floor, and yes, welcome to 30 St Mary Axe. You notice that the receptionist does not refer to it as the Gherkin. So you gestured towards the lift, and these are quite big lifts. I haven't done my... ordinarily, between me doing this and that, I probably would have gone to London for one reason or another, but because of COVID, I haven't been there. And I probably would have seen if I could just get into the Gherkin for a bit, because I think you can go in there for the restaurant. And checked it out, but in this case, I've only walked past it. So from what I remember, there's large lifts. And you get in there, and as you do so, two members of security are already waiting for the lift. You go in with them. And as you're going up, you overhear a conversation. Conversations by a quite large guy, broad shoulders, bit of a gut. He's somewhere in his late 30s, early 40s. And he's talking to a quite an athletic-looking woman. Yeah. Her hair and cornrows kind of bunched up at the back of her head, and they're both wearing the same security uniform. Yeah, and the guy turns to the woman, and she's I guess kind of Latina, kind of mixed race Latina, and he turns around and says, "So, how did your night go then?" I tell you what, it was great. Bench pressed a fifth more than I was supposed to. After that, went over to the house. Ended up having 2 Wagyu steaks, right? All the trimmings, yeah. Ended up having to get more. It says at that Zellman Meats place, and ate it. Didn't put on a stop. I've actually lost weight. And you can see, this guy's huge. He goes, I've actually lost weight. How'd you go yourself? And she turns around and you can see this toothy grin. And you can see this girl's ripped. She goes, same thing, man. You know, I went down to the boxing club, right? I went, oh God, I don't know how many rounds I went, but, you know, in the end, I had to take a fall. Literally, they kept punching and punching and punching. I was just, after a while, I was just enjoying it. I was deliberately lowering my guard, yeah? There was punching and punching and punching. I wasn't feeling a thing. And same thing. Oh, my God, when I got home, oh, God, I nearly emptied the fridge. And he's like, love it, Michael, love it. And he's there kind of slapping her shoulder, and she's just like, to better things. He's like, to better things. Both of them don't seem, even though they're like security personnel, who are normally kind of like janitors and things like that, where they're normally a bit more subdued to people who are clearly like, you've got 2 executive types in the lift. They don't seem to give a shit, and you have noticed there's a bit of this in Excelsior anyway, but these are a little extra. Where most people who are there, as I say, they're kind of wannabes and things like that, and they will happily talk to anybody. And they do garner this culture where talking to, you know, like the CEO talking to the janitor, absolutely, and the janitor just asking, you know, or did you see the footy or whatever, absolutely, you know, that's the kind of place that it is. But they just seem to be loud and proud. They get off on the 11th. and they start talking about maybe like jogging and stuff like that. And you're there thinking, she's going to jog with him? She'll have to stop every minute or so to wait for him to catch up. And you can see the two of them are bouncing with energy.
Okay.
You get to 19. And even as you come out of the lift, the whole of London is at your feet. One of the assistants comes forward and says, "Oh, you're here. Please, this way. Your offices are ready."
While I'm in the elevator, I would like to pull out my compact and make sure everything's okay.
Yeah,
And then
yeah, fabulous as usual. What are you on about? And the assistant walks straight up to Ilka and says, "If you'd like to come this way."
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
She takes you to a beautiful and lavish office. This office looks like it should be for a CEO. You can see that it has a wall monitor, like big HD TV, and on it has a kind of like a status screen. It's like a dashboard of everything to do with Lilith's department. Like, almost like you can keep track of her. Normally you do this with apps and knowing her calendar, and you've got like a kind of administrator access to her emails so that you can answer some of her emails, because she's way too busy, darling, to answer them all herself. So you tend to siphon off low priority emails. She can tag them as well so that they get so that you can see which one she wants done. And you've got all ModCon's best kind of sit-stand desk with the computer and all the rest of it. It looks like the nerve center for a CEO rather than somebody who is, just a second in command executive of one of the divisions.
This is Lilith's office, yeah. That's great. I think I probably maybe around the corner
No,
or
Miss Lilith is upstairs now.
um
She's on 21.
but this is for me.
That's right, yes.
Oh, yeah, secret. Yeah.
Leather sofa, leather chair, Nespresso in the corner.
Thank you. May I ask where the bathroom is, please?
She goes up to a section of wall and opens it.
This is for me too.
Ensuite, yes.
Oh,
It even has a shower in it.
Yeah. This is fantastic. Thank you. May I have a few minutes to gather myself?
Of course. If you want privacy on the windows, you just press this button here. She presses it, and all the windows go from clear to tinted.
Oh, wunderbar.
She flicks it back and says, if there's anything you need, it's this button here that gets me coming to you, or another one of the assistants from the pool. Take a look. If anything is wrong, we'll come and change it. And she goes to show one of the others to their office.
Can I get a pot of strong black coffee? Make it two pots, please.
Yep. Even though you've got the Nespresso in the corner, she says, "Oh yes, of course." Pulls out a phone that she's got. Like a again, like I've got the notes. It's like a fucking brick, but it works. She pulls out a big phone like this, what used to be called a phablet, flickers a few things, her hands over it, and says, "There'll be one here in a few minutes."
Oh, thank you, Mila. Yeah, thank you. And I sort of shut the door behind her and just like stand there looking around.
She says, "Okay, Kate. Yes, right. This way." She gives you a very friendly smile and takes you to your office. Your office is adjacent to a open pool of around about 12 people, and you do recognize some of them. They are lower-ranking members of your department,
right?
Who are in the open plan. A few of them kind of give you a really enthusiastic thumbs up, as if to say, "We're in the Gherkin!" And she shows you to a similar-ish office. It's not as lavish as Ilka's, but you do have like a mini board table in yours. So you can get like a good 9 people around this table. Actually, it wouldn't be 9, it'd be 8 because it's symmetrical. So most of the mod cons are in there, and you can see that you have another big HD screen that is that has all of the kind of status of what are your minions, because you can definitely see. God, what was his name?
Damien?
Damien, yeah, you can see Damien's kind of status on there as well. All of the people who work under you, so it's Damien and 11 others, have these strange D8 objects on their desks. Okay? Very strange, so they look like big white D6s about this big. And written on it in dry white marker on each of the sides is a different thing. So it says research, emails, client calls, lunch, CPD, continuous personal development. These are time management counters. These things exist, by the way. Yeah. They're top of the range. I bought them for some executives once when I was running a particular building. And when they're doing certain things, they flip the D8 so that the correct category is face up, and a piece of software then clicks over to fill in their timesheet for them. Okay? Right. You can see what Damien's doing. He flips over the D8 to emails, and on the big screen, the big dashboard that you've got, it says Damien emails.
Right.
It also has each of their GPS locations based on their phone.
This seems like far too much power for me to have. I like it. Can I manually change these D8s, or do they just swap to what they think they're doing? Or can I be like, no, you're doing this?
You can send them a message and basically override the D8. Yeah. Right. You can also reprogram the sides of the D8 to whatever you want, because that's what you can do with them. Yeah. Okay. And so, yeah, you've just got like your team of troubleshooters there. The next one that they take is Christy. And Christy, you get taken to what is effectively just a lounge.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Obviously.
You don't even have a computer. There's no desk. It's just a lounge. It's a reception lounge. That's what it is.
Do I have like an elliptical machine and maybe some TVs and a snow cone maker and
They tell you where those are. Oh, well, the snow cone maker definitely, but the elliptical machine, they tell you where that is. They tell you where the celebrity gym is. It's on one of the floors. I'll say 17 and then write it down because otherwise I'll forget. Celebrity gym is on 17.
I want a catwalk, like a runway in the middle of it, so I can practice in a big-ass mirror.
They immediately start asking what you want changed. Of course you've got a list. You give them the list. They're taking it down. The catwalk gets added. The different minibar. They gave you like a globe minibar, which is so passé. I'm sorry. So you redesign the minibar and all the rest of it, and they get engineering on it immediately.
Frittata maker, panini press. I need a station for my nails, hair, and makeup. And I need this special summer edition Haribo gummy bears constantly. You can only get them in the summer, but I need them all year round.
Okay. The fingers are a blur on this pad as she starts putting together what is this celebrity nest for you. And this is.
I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone. Freddie, what else do I need?
He starts saying that he's going to send you things and all the rest of it as well. You know, put personal touch in.
And I'm sending him messages, Freddie. Okay.
Yeah. They open up a wall, and it has in there again like a toilet, shower, but like the biggest fucking makeup area that you've seen.
Yeah.
This isn't meant for one person to go in. This is meant for you and your makeup crew to go into.
Yes.
So yeah, they give you the names of all the on-duty stylists, 24/7 coverage. So
Rodriga.
yeah.
Yes. Rodriga.
Yes, Rodriga takes the third shift. So yeah, she tends to do the night shift. And this place is open 24/7 for you. Yeah. They do also point out that if you need it, there's a little tuckaway around the corner. There's like a Japanese paper blinds thing, and they say if you're too busy to go home after doing any of your networking upstairs in the club, there is this, and they press a panel on the wall, and a single bed comes out, silk sheets.
Me and Freddie will take good use of that.
This assistant is a fucking professional. Poker face throughout. Doesn't react.
Freddie is real limber. He's like 90 something, I think, but he does Pilates.
They take down everything. They don't react in any way, shape, or form. And with a smile, finally got to the end of your list. They go to take. And all of these are really nearby. These are all like in like they're on the same floor, and they're kind of in a bit of a vestibule. So they're all quite close to each other. And
so can I see Kate? And I'm just gonna be like dancing around.
You can see Kate's bullpen basically. Kate's office has got like again the same privacy glass office, and you do notice that the privacy glass has got like a prism effect. It's like diffraction grating effect with the TV screen. If you try to look at the TV screen through the window, it just looks garbled. You can only see it when you're in the room. Again, this technology exists. It's really cool. And so, yeah, I'm going to wrap up with Star being taken to his office.
It's just a broom cupboard.
So the assistant takes you, again, it's nearby, and takes you to your office. Your office.
I actually have an office. Last time I was given an office, we decided to put a bunch of the camera equipment in it because we thought that would be better use for it. Because,
That's right, a studio. And she goes to open the door, and as she does so, she does it like kind of almost with a flourish, and instead bounces off the door as the door refuses to open. Just, oh, I'm sorry, I'll get facilities on this. She goes to open it, and it seems to be jammed. Star, you think you can open the door?
I'll just like gently push against it, like
click. It opens. Inside is a portrait shoot studio. It's divided in two. You have a soundproof door that you can separate the two, so someone can record in there.
Yeah.
It has the monochromatic background as well, so you can green screen pretty much anything that's in there.
Yeah.
And on your side is basically Dr. Evil's computer, right? 6 screens, each one of them's huge. You've got all of the keyboard and all the other stuff around you is ridiculous. You've got like a pan and scan handpiece. so that you can change perspectives and things like that. It's got full animation studio, everything. The full graphic artist thing. Not only that, but behind your chair, there's spaces. There's like almost a crescent of chairs behind your chair where other consultants can sit down, or clients can sit down, and as you're editing it, be saying, "Oh yeah, I want more like this or more like that." This is beautiful. This is a state-of-the-art graphic editing suite. Everything from making, touching up super model pictures, photos, not pictures, they don't get pictures, they get photos, or just running a piece of film from raw data and changing something in there. Your on-the-fly CGI stuff. And there's libraries of everything, and also you have outsourcing. That's something you notice. One of the screens is deliberately an outsourcing Kanban board. So a Kanban board is waiting, doing, done. You can throw tasks into the waiting pile and outsource it to other graphic designers throughout the world, not just the country, but the world. They will pick it up, place it into doing, and then when they're done, they will deposit it in done with the final file or files.
Are you sure this is my office?
She taps the door and your name is on it.
I think there's been a mistake.
I'm sorry. What's wrong?
I think this is too much. I don't know.
Do you want us to make it a more minimalist look?
No, I don't want you to change it. No, I don't want to cause any difficult. No, I'm just, I don't know what to say. I just, wow. Thank you.
She gives you a polite smile as if to say, "Why the hell is he thanking me? This is his office." And yeah, she sa's, "Well, it's great to have you here at the."
How do you like your teas and coffees? What do you prefer?
She looks confused, but she does answer. She tells you how she likes her coffee, but she does so with her brow wrinkled the entire time, as if to say, "That's what I need to ask you." But she's so confused.
Yeah,
she's just like
started writing it on their pad.
It's like she's an assistant, you're a natural-born assistant, and both of you are kind of trying to both do the same thing. And she kind of goes, "Well, I like that pod over there," and points to your Nespresso machine. And she goes, "But if there's anything you need, just give me a shout."
Well, if you want, I don't need an espresso. You can have the espresso machine. I'm not worried about it.
Oh, we've got a bank of 7 in support.
Like, you might want to. I know I'm probably not meant to do this.
You're supposed to have one here. It's best if you leave it here. It's
You sure?
Yeah, it would be weird otherwise. There's a rotor. We need to kind of fill up the pods, and
okay.
It's best if you leave it.
Well, if it makes your job easier, you can take this home. I'm not worried.
You look like she looks like she's about to have a panic attack, and she's just like, no, it's supposed to be here. It's like almost like, don't. I know the rules. I'm good at the rules. Don't change the rules. And you do get told a few minutes later that you do have a meeting. The meeting with Lilith has been postponed. Lilith has to sort something out. This doesn't surprise you. Lilith is cancelling meetings all the time because she's going for the next big panic. You can see on your phone, Ilka, what Lilith is doing, and it's just like, Lilith being Lilith, or sort of. And you get called to a meeting, and you find out that the meeting is being chaired by Violette. Okay? So we're going to leave that here. A big thank you for Christy, Joseph, Dave, and Helen for throwing themselves into a story that they know nothing about. and throwing themselves in amazingly with it. And we're going to cut that for this week. Join us. Well, I was about to say, join us next week at the same time. So Thursday, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. UK time for the continuing Excelsior Rising. But also, we will be back tomorrow. So tomorrow we are still continuing the game that we started Chaotic Neutral with. So it's episode 120 of The Benefactor. 120 already,
Wow.
my God. So yes, we will be doing more of the Path of Juradan as they've started to really crack into that one now, and things are accelerating. We will do some raiding as well. What I'll do is I'll put the offline screen on, but then immediately after that we will raid. So big thank you to everybody in chat as well. Thank you for voting and passing this destiny to each of them. I think they've already started getting ideas of what the symbols are doing for them. But the last thing that I do before we say goodbye is I put a bet with Dave. You see, Dave, fortunately and unfortunately, knows me quite well. And we've talked long, back when we both lived in Didcot, we talked long about our writing styles, which are different, but kind of we appreciate how we're different.
Yeah.
So I said, look, you're going to guess it after a while, but I based part of this game, only part of it, on a book. And so I put the thing out there that if Dave gets it right, I'll give 15 XP to everyone. We'll talk about XP later. But yeah, I said I'd give the equivalent of 15 XP to each of the players if Dave gets the book right. Now, there's a couple of inspirations, and there's what I would like to think a large amount of original content, but there's something that I went, oh yeah, it's like that book. So each session, Dave gets to mention a book. So which one do you think it is?
Well, I'm going to go with what my original guess was based on all the clues I got before the game, even though I'm less confident now that this is right. But I'm sticking with it because this is what I decided originally.
Okay.
So I am going to say Wildcards.
Okay. So there's been a few books called Wildcards, so specifically you're talking about the
George
R.
R.
Martin. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So George R. Martin Wildcards, where a bunch of people suddenly realize they are superheroes, X-Men style, kind of thing. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's I can see where you're going with that. I can see that there's a certain emerging weirdness coming out of it all, but that is not the book.
No, I didn't think so after the session.
Okay.
This is based
you get 12 guesses,
things.
So it's 12 sessions. You get 12 guesses, so that is not a problem. And we will keep going with that each time. And if you have any conspiracy theories in chat as we go along, give me a shout. Well, just say in chat, and I'm sure Dave will consider it. But it's only Dave who can give it each session. Anyway, big thanks to you all. And we will see you tomorrow night. Until then, good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.